Hey everybody, welcome back to Mildcore Gaming and our playthrough of Shadowrun Hong Kong. I am Yemmer. I am bad at video games. I make mistakes so you don't have to. If that's what you're into, please like, subscribe, follow, share, all that fun stuff. We put out new videos every day. And this is kind of a part 2 here of episode 4. I got interrupted, and so this is going to be in 2 parts. This is the second part. We are here in the Whampoa, investigating the serial murders of the elders here. We've talked to several people. Actually, hold on here. We need the key to Magpie's shop. And wow, is the audio loud? Hold on. Sorry, I don't know what happened, but sorry, the music level is really high, and I've got it turned almost all the way down. Okay, let's see how that works. All right, so we actually need to get the key. How do we? Hold on. So we got to investigate the parking garage and get the key to Magpie's shop. First, we're going to finish talking to people. We got the food vendor over here. Let's talk to him. Them. This dumpy-looking man is busily hawking a variety of grilled spherical treats of various sizes. Some are sold individually, some are skewered on sticks, and some are packaged up in sets of 4 or 6. A sign on the front of the cart reads, Kieta's 1 yen yatai. A cacophony of small tri-D screens are attached to the cart, each playing a different tri-D show. Kaita? I'm going to say it's Kaita. Again, blanket apologies for destroying names. Interested in some dango? Teoyaki? Maybe a nice nikamon? That's a pork bun with a Japanese twist. Any kind of tasty Japanese treat you can imagine, I've got it. Maybe some curry fish balls are your speed. Keita will give you your heart's desire, provided that desire is on my menu. 1 nuyen, we'll take it. Let me have some dango. Your wish is my command, good sir. Keita deftly pulls one of the dango sticks out of the cart and drops it into the grill. A small robotic arm slides out from the cart and begins turning the stick until the balls of rice flour are toasted brown color. Lifting them up from the grill, Keita dips the entire stick in a tub of sticky brown sauce before handing it to you. The snack has both a sweet and salty flavor reminiscent of sesame seeds and soy. The balls inside are pleasantly warm and surprisingly chewy, a bit like eating raw dough, but without the attendant chalky taste. Keita leans back, studying you intently. The tri-D projections from his cart cause his face to be lit in a constantly shifting array of rainbow hues. So what brings you to Whampoa Garden, my friend? Somehow I doubt it's just the street food. I'm looking into the killing of the Whampoan elders. Keita shivers, wrapping his arms around his body. I've been hearing a lot about that. Haven't looked too closely, though. It's just none of my business, you know? What can you tell me about the people here? We're tech heads, deckers, riggers, tri-D pirates, and everything in between. If I had to define this place, I say it's Asia's mecca for people like us. As for the elders, I can give you the basics, but I'm a small fry, so we're not exactly on social terms. Ing's some kind of crazy tech witch. She summons up spirits and casts spells, and works as a spiritual center of the tribe. She's a lot craftier than she seems, too. She has this mother-to-everyone act going on, but I've watched her manipulate people into doing all kinds of stuff they wouldn't normally do, and they thought it was their idea the whole time. Magically, you mean? No, I don't think so. She's just really good with people. Ip's a killer, addicted to cybernetic implants. He always has to have the newest and freshest gear. The funny thing is, I've never seen him fight. I kind of get the impression he's a coward. He'd rather let one of his buddies handle the problem than do it himself. All I know about Tang is that he loves drones and does a little decking. Frankly, I find him kind of boring. All he talks about is neural networks, dark knowledge, and evolution of machine learning. Like I said, boring. What's with all the Tri-D screens? Kata beams and gestures excitedly at them. You like them? I love Tri-D operas. Chinese, Korean, Japanese, Indonesian, doesn't matter. This way, I can watch all of my favorite shows without missing a beat, and I can work at the same time. Pirated Tri-D is my other business. I rip the streams into the matrix, tap right into the corporate feeds, and resell them on the chip out here. Kata's face falls a bit, and his enthusiasm wanes. I wish it could pay the bills, but my food cart's a lot better than at that. I don't know why, but most of the other Wampoans seem to like Sim over Tri-D. They don't know what they're missing, though. One episode of 1,000 Cranes in Autumn, and they'd be hooked for life. I'm just at the part where Orin has confessed her love to Takayama, but he's got his mech suit out to the front lines on Mars, so he can't be with her. Downright heartbreaking, I tell you. Sounds like an interesting show, all right. Eyes twinkling, Kata leans forward in breathless excitement. Oh, you have no idea. 312 episodes chronicling the noble mech pilot and the tumultuous love affair he has with the space station governor's daughter. The pathos, the majesty, the Battle of Lagrange 1 spans 5 episodes just by itself. For some reason, I guess it didn't resonate with the wider public. I don't know why. Who doesn't want to see a Tri-D show about a giant flying robot's love, betrayal, and spies? Okay, I'm sold. Right there. Boom. I'm in. I love me giant robots. Flying, even better. Love, okay. Betrayal, sure. Spies, even better. Yeah, make this. I want this. Take my money. Make that, and I will watch it. I've got to stop myself before I get carried away. Was there something else you needed? Got any thoughts on the murders? Yeah, ignore them. Kata shrugs indifferently. I saw the crowd down at Tong's Sensory Carnival earlier tonight, but I didn't know the guy very well. I'm a Tri-D fan. He likes The Sims. Not a lot of crossover between us. Okay, see you later, Kata. Thanks for the food. Wait, can I get some more? Oh. Okay, I wanted some more of the food. All right, let's see. Looking for people to talk to. Oh, here we go. Who's this? Breaker Hui. Why? Why? Who? Why? An imposing troll stands in front of a stall overflowing with weapons of all sorts. Pistols, rifles, and even brass knuckles overflow onto the rug around him. Ho there! You look like a man who understands the value of self-defense. Breaker Hui at your service, and I can promise you I can help you defend yourself. What do you say? Want to take a look? I'm more interested in information at the moment. Yeah? Tell me what you want. Maybe I can help you out. Know anything about the murders? Just that the elders have been getting hacked apart. I've tried to stay away from it all. No sense painting the crosshairs on my own forehead, right? The troll shrugs indifferently. I'm nobody important, and I aim to keep it that way. What are your impressions of the Wampoan elders? Can't say I associate with them. They organize big trade deals with the Loho Jawa pirates, the triads, and legitimate businesses. They tell us that somebody's been blacklisted and dispense justice when someone breaks the rules. Beyond that, they leave us alone, and I leave them alone. I'm just not important enough to register on their radar. You know anything about Elder Magpie? Never met her, thank God. She ran with the Deckers, mostly, since she dealt with in chips and software. I heard she was hard to work with. I think the phrase I overheard was that she shrieked like a harpy with a fresh corpse. I don't know. You should ask Zippy, though. He's a sharp one with a deck, so he'd know her better than most. We talked to Zippy. Aside from Tong, who slings the BTLs around here? The Red Spear Gang. They run up in here sometimes, but don't cause any trouble. Check out the parking garage south of here, though. They usually hole up in there. Step light, though. If they don't know you and you cop an attitude, they'll put you in the ground. Funny thing, I heard there was a shootout with some Hong Kong police in the garage a month ago. I was away in Beijing at the time, so I didn't see it directly, but everybody was talking about it when I got back. Why is that funny? Because we don't let the HKPF in here, most times. We shoot them if they try. Every time they come in here, it's bad for us because they're always looking for a scapegoat. Why would the elders let them in? Nobody knows. See you later. Well, okay, that's... Hold on, wait, what do you got? Show me what you have. Okay, let's see. Weapons. Uzi, Benelli. Okay, he's just got basic stuff here that I already have. Or can't... Wait, I don't have range combat too? Not right now. Wait, what's my range combat at? But my range combat is 1? Hold on. Oh, wow. Oh, I need to get into range combat here too. I don't have Overwatch. Oh my gosh. So this... No, that's an additional weapon slot. Oh, I'm going to need that. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I need that. So this gives me Overwatch. Okay, and then... Oh man, Okay, I'm going to need to get this one as well because I need an additional weapon slot because I want to pack more than one drone. Okay, and then what's this one? Oh, this is Overwatch. Oh my gosh. So I need to get these two. What's my intelligence at? Okay. I'm okay in intelligence. Yeah, I got to get into quickness. All right. Okay. All right, we talked to him. Let's save and talk to Mo Janeb. Neb. The man in front of this stall is rooting through a box of music chips with the swift fingers of someone who knows what they're looking for. Behind him, a music player pumps out a constant stream of distorted, atonal music. The stall's proprietor is nowhere to be seen. Mo Nebi. I think the J is silent. Mo Nebi. Can you believe this? They've got 4 bootlegs of Echelon 60, the unreleased Ian Keys double chip show from Brazzaville, but absolutely 0 chips from Shotgun Bloom. This stall stuff is pretty second rate. Hey man, don't get down on Echelon 60. I saw them when they played at the unlicensed show at the old Choco Tart factory out in Suwon. The show was amazing, even if the police had to break it up midway through the second set. The music aficionado waves his hand dismissively. The show might have been great, but come on. Echelon 60's old news. They're already being mainstreamed. I saw a Tri-D ad for the new Mitsubishi Astoro scooter, and they were using main volt underbus as the backing music. Made me sad, I tell you. The Decker inclines his head politely toward you. Mo Nebi, at your service. Decker, technologist, music fan. If you're not from around here, are you? You don't hold yourself like a native. Not from Wampoa Garden, no. Mo runs a hand through his hair, shaking the collected rain off of it. I thought so. What brings you out here? I'm trying to find out who's killing the elders. The Decker pauses a moment, face falling. Oh, that's a nasty business. I heard Tong died tonight. I don't know who or what they pissed off, but it seems like a really bad scene. I'm trying to keep my nose out of it. Still, I like this place. Is there anything I can do to help? What can you tell me about the Wampoans? We're a collection of freaks, geeks, nerds, and tech junkies. This place may look like a third world bazaar, but believe me, we have stuff here that's cutting edge in almost every field. Mo smells with pride and plants both hands firmly on his hips. Maybe it's not as advanced as the stuff the Megas have at their development labs, but it's as advanced as anything you can find in a store. People come from all over the world to buy and sell here and work out deals for big shipments. We got contracts with every pirate and smuggling group in the South China Sea, and every major syndicate and gang in the Free Enterprise Zone knows not to mess with us. Not only are there a lot of us, nobody wants to lose what we're selling. The Red Dragon made a play 4 years ago, but we chased him out. Mo gestures with both hands as if shooting away a bothersome insect. Scooted off back to Home 10, and they've never been back. Good for you. That's how you survive. It's all about playing the angles. Yeah, it pissed them off, but then we sold goods to the Yellow Lotus at a discount. In exchange, the Yellow Lotus kept them off our backs. You don't have to beat up the big guy to win. You just have to make him step back so the other big guys see he's off balance. Stand-up fights are for the megas. We're about survival, just like everybody else in the shadows. Know anything about the murders? I'm trying to stay as far away from it as possible. I'm not connected enough to hear anything important, and all the talk about monsters is just plain dark. I'm not afraid of monsters, but I don't want to get their attention. All I know is that a couple of months ago, we had elders Nakamura, Yatunde, Gon, and Magpie, and now we don't. I've heard about Magpie. Sounds like she was kind of vicious. To be blunt, she's a hateful, shrewish old badger of a person. It was always her way or the highway. She'd butt heads with the other elders over damn near anything. The last fight she had was with Tang over something or other. I guess she ended up throwing some of his micro-drones into a deep fryer and threatened to kick his ass around the block. What was her line of business? Matrix gear. Her shop's called the Jack Point. Not very imaginative, I know. She always had the hottest programs, best chips, and made some killer decks for anybody willing to pay her rates. It cost plenty of Nuyen, but she was one of the best in the business, at least in Hong Kong. If you want to know more about her, you should talk to Zippy. He's one of the only people around here who got along with Magpie. You can probably find him by the MTR station. He loves the steam bun cart over there. We did talk to him already. We might hit him up again. What's your area of expertise? I'm a decker. I used to be company man for years, pushing code onto their servers, smearing the little cyber pukes that would try to get in our secure systems. I made a pretty good living. Had my own place on the 48th floor in a corporate skyscraper. It was the kind of things the Sims teach you everybody reaches for. The dream life. How'd you end up here? I found out the company wasn't what I thought it was. Sure, they paid me well and kept me in creature comforts, but I accidentally looked over some misfiled reports while cleaning out a company data store. Turns out one of the company's security riggers had gotten drunk and blabbed about some project or another being over budget and behind schedule. That's not good. It'd be a fireable offense, right? Mo purses his lips, his gaze going distant for a moment. Well, I guess upper management was worried that info would hurt their stock ratings by a fraction of a point or two, so they fired the guy with a 308 round right through the skull. Wait, they shot him over a fraction of a point? It may only have been fractions of a point, but that was still tens of millions of Nuyen. I guess that went beyond a firing offense, directly into murder territory. What's worse, since I now knew about both the project and the murder, I could be next in the firing line. I knew I wasn't worth the expense to hunt down, as long as I kept my head down, so I came out here, looking for like-minded deckers. I guess I ended up staying because I could get a semblance of community out here, and I couldn't get that at many other places. See you later, Mo. Alright, we'll save there. Okay. Let's see. Who else can we talk to? Did we already talk to... Okay, yeah, this is Zippy. We already talked with him. Let's talk to him again. Can we... Nope, nothing else. Okay. I think there's nothing this way. Alright, let's go back in and see if we can get a key. Alright. Is there anything we can do for Yimmer? Why did you let the Hong Kong police force into Whampoa Garden last month? Tang is taken aback by the question. For a long moment, he says nothing. When his composure does return, he speaks deliberately and with great care. We generally don't let the police into Whampoa Garden. It's true. But in this case, we made an exception. The police were very polite and offered to look the other way over some of our deals with the Loho Jowa pirates. They also made it clear that if we refused, they might not only take an interest in our deals with the pirates, they would call in the special duties unit and force their way in. We have repelled the Hong Kong police force before when they've tried to push us around. We could probably drive off the special duties unit as well, but the costs in blood would be too high. Ing shrugs noncommittally. Since they weren't hurting in Whampoa, we saw no reason to refuse their request. So who are they here for? They didn't say, and we didn't ask. The HKPF isn't exactly forthcoming about their business, and we found that the less we know about their interests, the safer Whampoa Garden is. When you take an interest in the police, they return the favor. As far as I know, they went into the parking garage, there was a gunfight, and the police never came out. More showed up a few hours later looking for their missing officers. We didn't let those in, though. We just delivered what was left of the bodies to them. Why didn't you let them in? We were willing to allow the group of 4 in because they asked politely. When the reinforcements arrived, there were over 30 of them. We couldn't risk the rest of the police setting up camp on our streets. It would have been a circus and disrupted our lives and businesses. Okay, I'll be going now. But wait, I need a key. Get the key to Magpie Shop. Who do we get a key from? Darn it. Huh, okay. Let's go back out. This is Demar. Hold on. Can I get a key from him? See you later. Okay. I don't know who I'm supposed to get the key from. I've got the mission. Oh, wait. Maybe. Oh, it's this guy. Potter Lamb. He's got keys to everywhere. Hey there. Need something else? Yeah. What can you tell me about Elder Magpie? The Whampoan snorts, shrugging his shoulders. That she was a bitch? That I've never met anyone as deliberately contrary as her? There's not much to say. Nobody wanted to hang out with Magpie. Even though she was the newest elder, she acted high and mighty around everyone. She'd block deals and argue against Nakamura and Ing just because she could. Why was she so contrary? It was just her nature. She loved fights and gossip. Any chance to cut someone else down, she'd take it. I guess I always figured she had some deep-seated insecurities and covered it up by attacking other people. See you later. Dang it. Okay, this is acting like... Hold on. How do I get the key? It looks like it's telling me to go in here to get the key. Just... Okay, they don't have anything. Is it maybe... Who's this guy again? Well, this guy's electronics, matrix stuff. And drones. Okay, but he doesn't have the key. See you later. I don't know where to... And this person here is a clothing vendor, I think. Yeah. And then this one... Hold on. Why isn't this working? Hold on a sec. Oh, hold on. I think I got the wrong key. Nope. Darn it. What is going on? Who's this guy? This is Rainbow. We talked with her. See you later. Okay. There's no key. Alright. So, oh, you can't see it. There's an indicator, in the top left where my beautiful face is, that indicates where, like, the mission is. But it's pointing in this area where I am right now. Yeah, it's pointing at this. So all right. We're just going to go over here to the parking garage and talk to them. Okay, here we go. I'm going to get a drink of water. Sorry, give me a minute. Okay. Let's see here. Anything you see over here? Doesn't look like it. Oh, there's stuff over there. But it looks like we'll probably have to talk to these guys. There we go. Red Spear Ganger. That's far enough, guy. The woman hefts her weapon, tossing a nod toward the gangers behind her. This lot's our turf. If you're looking for a fix, you're welcome to trade. If you're not here for business, well, clear the hell out. You try and wander around on our turf, we're going to have to air you out. So what do you say? You looking for a little pick-me-up? A little nitro to give you some pep? Maybe you want some chips. Take the edge off. You want it? I got it. We can straight up attack them. We're not going to do that. I was like, let's see what you have first. $200. Jeez. Add strength and willpower. No. Toko. Adds one body, one strength, and one willpower. No. Kamikaze. No. We'll spend 200 on Jazz. And we'll replace one of my tier 1s. And let's see here. Let's give another tier 1 there. Okay. Made a purchase. Maybe that'll help them out here. While I'm here, well, what happened in the fight here? As far as I know, some police showed up looking for somebody. They got in here. All of them got killed. Whoever they were after was long gone by the time we showed up. Used to be a lot of Wampoans living here. They all cleared out, muttering about ghosts and shit like that. Have you heard anything else about the murders? Oh, we can go in the storm drains. Nothing much. I'll tell you what, though. I've got a guy named Kang, and he was down in the storm drain system last week. Something was moving down there. Big, too. Man-sized. But it wasn't speaking any language Kang could understand. Kid beat feet back here as fast as he could. Dumbass dropped his storm drain key on the way out, though. You want to go looking for whatever it was? You'll have to get a new key from somebody else. Kang stole his from a city worker. Who else might have a key to the storm drains? There's a guy named Porter Lamb who's got keys to pretty much everything. He's somewhere between a cop and a handyman. Ewan also mentioned some elf woman with a crazy colored hair who managed to scam a key. He said she hunted paracritters down there, devil rats and shit. Oh, Rainbow, yeah, we know her. Can I look around this garage? We don't have gang. Man, are you deaf? What the hell did I tell you? No, you goddamn well can't wander around our turf. The hanger shakes her head, mumbling something about idiots with no memory. Well, that's me. Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, some of these BTLs you're selling look an awful lot like they came from Tong's shop. Yeah, so what? Why do you care? Let's see here. So if you stole these from Tong's, maybe you saw something I can use in my investigation. Yeah, I guess that's fair. It's like this. Broken Thumb Ewan's walking down the street and sees this guy go into Tong's joint right at closing time. Tall guy, hunched over. Had his shitty gray rain poncho draped over him. Now, Ewan figured that was weird as hell, so he posts up and waits. He figures the guy will come out soon, because Tong's closing up shop. Nothing for 15 whole minutes. Guy comes out, hustles down the street with nobody saying boo. I figure he was waiting for an ebb in the crowds. Ewan sees some blood smeared on the door, though, so he goes check it out. Inside, total carnage. But you know what? Tong's not going to be using his gear anymore, so to hell with it. Ewan jacks a lot of it. That's pretty cold. So sleeping on the street or going hungry or selling BTLs. It's the life we got, and that's the way it is. Anything else? Alright, see you later. We're not going to attack them. So here, let's wait. Alright, so we're going to head out, talk to Porter, see if we can get a key from him. Oh. The people have cleared out. That's odd. Hey there, need something else? Do you have a key to the storm drainage system? Sure, why do you ask? Drop a gun down a grate or something? Following up a lead on the killer. In that case, take the damn key. You'll have to forgive me if I don't go down there with you. Alright, hold on a sec. Porter peels an antique... Porter peels an antique Yale-style key off a key ring and hands it to you. Knock yourself out, man. There's an entrance up by the Jade Mountain restaurant. Can't miss it. See you later. Hello. Laval? Actually, not too far. Actually, I've kind of just started. I've just now gotten... This is like my second job for Chen. So, still just getting going. We're going to go back in and talk to Rainbow and see if she has anything else. Ah, I missed. There. Good use. Nope. See you later, Rainbow. Alright, can we talk to the people again here? Nope, they got nothing. Okay, let's head out. Oh, I thank you for lurking around. I appreciate it. Yeah. It's still at the beginning. We've got a lot of missions here. So yeah, we've got... Oh, this is just showing this mission. Okay, yeah. I've got like 5 or 6 jobs waiting. So, oh, hold on a sec. Wait, where? It's over here. Yeah, I'm going the wrong way. I did not play these when they came out. I have just recently started playing the games on PC here. But I did play... we did Shadowrun Returns and then Shadowrun Dragonfall, and now we're doing Hong Kong. Alright, here we go. Down the drain. That's some different music there. Alright. Something to look at over there. Looks like we got to cross here. Whoa! My guys are... Oh, they're teleporting, running fast. Okay, that's... Oh, wait. There's a room over here. Let's go look at it. What do we got? Body parts. The disgusting pile of stinking human remains smells strongly of blood in the first stages of decay. The arms, legs, and organs here are heaped together like stacked firewood, leaking blood and gore across the floor. The parts contained therein appear to have been sliced away from the parent body, rather than torn or bitten. Judging by the clean edges on the cuts, the blade used to sever these parts was extremely sharp. This is a whole world of messed up, Yummer. Isabel takes a moment to suppress a retch. You think the killer stashed these here? They're stacked. They've been organized. This is our killer, all right. Looking closer at the pile, one part stands out. It's a severed forearm, and it's covered in tattoos. Words in a Slavic language and a shining lighthouse adorn the forearm, and the ring-like images are linked on each finger. On the back of the hand, there's a skull inside a square. Whoever owned this arm isn't likely to be Wampoan, as the tattoos look like they were poorly drawn and inked by hand rather than a machine. Most likely Russian criminal tattoos. Okay. What do we have over here? Oops, there we go. We've got Storm Drain. Despite the darkness, you can see something glitter at the edge of the drain. Looking closer, it appears to be a necklace chain of some kind. It's becoming caught in the drain's grate, narrowly avoiding falling down the deep pit. We'll take it. Lifting the necklace out of the drain, you turn it over in your hand. It's a simple silver pendant on a chain. The silver pendant depicts a long-tailed bird in flight, a magpie. Uh-oh. Did we find out what happened to Magpie? Looks like this is the only way we can go. Oh, hi, people. As you round a corner, you hear voices speaking just loudly enough for you to make out coherent sentences. The speakers are definitely not local. They speak with slightly Slavic accent, and their clothing is heavily armored. Around them are a number of crates and boxes, all mostly filled. It looks like the group is packing up. Vasilisa. Yaroslav says the boat will be ready tomorrow morning. He's gotten everything arranged with the Port Authority. We'll move the goods to his warehouse. He'll handle loading them into the ship, and we can get paid right then and there. The orc spits on the ground. I'll be glad to be done with this filthy place. I will too. I hate having to hide in these damn drains. It stinks down here. I can hear the devil rats running down the walkways. It's a mess, and it's disgraceful. We shouldn't have to put up with this bullshit. And Alexander still isn't back from his little trip. We'll have to leave him behind if he doesn't get back soon. I know, Galena. Until Andre says we're in the clear from the triads, we can't be seen with the goods on the street. They find us, we go back to Vladivostok in sausage casings. Those Red Dragon Mudakai don't screw around when it comes to protecting their turf. Who knows? Maybe Alexander was stupid and they caught him. Either way, we'll have to lug this crap through the drains for a few clicks. The orc woman sniffs the air suspiciously, and her eyes dart towards the dark tunnel you stand in. Before you have a chance to get out of sight, she locks eyes with you. The orc lifts her chin as she regards you, cracking her knuckles. What have we here? Curious little pests come looking for things that don't concern him? What do we do with pests, Galena? Galena puts a hand on her shotgun's barrel. We break them, Vasilia, and then we hammer a spike through each of their throats so anyone who sees their bodies knows not to meddle in our affairs. I suggest you stay where you are, pest. Okay, I'm going to say the Wampoan elders know I'm down here. You start a fight, you're going to have every drone and cyber junkie on those streets crawling up your ass. Some of the cockiness goes out of the Russian woman's eyes. She shifts back and forth nervously, shooting a glance at the orc. Finally, she lifts her shotgun, sighting along the barrel. You think we're afraid of those little worms? You think we're afraid of you? Don't make me laugh. We could be out of here before they ever realize you're missing. You think those crazy chipheads will give a shit about what happens down here? I don't think so. Duncan sneers at them, spitting on the ground. Make a move, shithead. Give me a reason to put you down. You thugs think you're so hard? I kill trash like you every damn day. I'm going to say, I don't care what you're doing down here or what you've stolen. I just want to find the person murdering the Wampoan elders. You think I give a shit about what you're doing down here? None of that concerns me. So why the hell should we let you live? Oh man, I got nothing. I got no etiquette. I don't have gang or academic, and my strength, I'm not strong enough to do anything. Hope and goodwill, yeah, that's not going to fly. I'm going to say, I know what happened to Alexander. Do we know? I don't think we do, but sure, let's roll with it. Vasila's eyes narrow. She hisses her words through her teeth. If you so much as touched him, your suffering will become the stuff of legend, I promise. Where is he? Oh, that was the Russian body parts we found. I'm going to say the serial killer I'm looking for killed him. Why should we believe you? I think you're just trying to save your own skin. Right forearm, lighthouse tattoo. Russian words underneath that. On the back of the hand, a skull inside a square. Sound familiar? Vasila and Galina exchange a significant glance. Okay, so you've seen his arm. That doesn't prove anything. You could have seen it on him. I'm going to say, you want to walk down the way and pull his arm out of the corpse pile I found? Go right ahead. I wasn't about to cart a severed arm around just in case I needed it. You're right. That is an act of someone very sick. We can talk peacefully, but keep your hands where we can see them. Where was your friend headed when he disappeared? He found a key card for a stockroom located behind Mrs. Yang's Jade Mountain restaurant. He went to check it out. We thought there might be something valuable in there. A little extra money for our time spent down here in the drains, nay? Do you have another key to the stockroom? Yes. There were several of them in a box. We just popped the lock off and took them all. Vasila tosses you a key card. Here. We don't have time for this. We have to move this gear. You want to play detective? Go right ahead. Okay. That's good. We're going to save there. Let's see. Can we talk to her again? You again. What now? Is there anything you can tell me about the murders that I might not know? You think we get out a lot? I wouldn't have even known there were murders if I hadn't bothered to come out and get some soy calf last week. It's none of our business and it isn't our problem, and I like it that way. All right, see you later. All right, we can go up here. Where does this put us? Doe, right in the street. Okay. So... Oh, here it is. So I have a key for this place. Okay. Oh, this looks like a fight area if I ever seen one. Okay, what do we got here? Food. Despite the table's crude construction, an artfully laid meal awaits the owner. Several small dishes are filled with pickled vegetables, while a larger plate is arranged with long slices of raw meat. The meat is a pale pinkish white, like raw pork, and is covered in a light soy marinade. Oh, that's long pig. We are not eating it. Poking at the raw meat, you discover that it's surprisingly tender. What's more, it has a faint aroma of marinade, as if deliberately prepared. This is people. We're not going to eat it. We're going to leave it alone. Mementos. This box is packed full of odds and ends. It nearly overflows with a collection of knickknacks, souvenirs, and assorted personal effects. There is no rhyme or reason to the collection of items. They appear to have been thrown in haphazardly. Among the contents are charms from various temples, a wooden mask, and a paper fan. All right, let's look at the mask. The wooden mask is extremely light. It's been painted a pale white, and the surface is almost as smooth as porcelain. Delicate features and lifted eyebrows are matched with bright red lips and delicately carved teeth. The teeth have been stained a deep black. Okay, examine the charms. The small charms are square cloth packets, each approximately 1 inch wide and 3 inches tall. They come in a variety of colors and are embroidered with the characters for prosperity, peace, wealth, and protection. Inside each appears to be a folded paper prayer or fortune written in Japanese. paper fan. Unfolding the fan, you tilt it up toward the light to examine it. The image depicts an East Asian city from the 19th century or earlier. Curved roofs at sunset beside a deep blue river. Two ships sail down the river, which is in turn spanned by a long wooden bridge. In the foreground, laborers carry buckets along the shore as a man on horseback rides in the opposite direction. In the distance, a pair of large red buildings dominate the city skyline. One large temple hall and a 5-tiered pagoda. Okay, we'll leave that alone. As you step away from the box, you hear a slight click in the distance, the sound of the door's latch shutting. You are no longer alone in the stockroom. Uh-oh. Whoa. What the Standing before you is a man clad in heavy armor and bearing a katana on his hip. His skin is an ashen gray, his eyes dead white. His teeth are jagged and appear quite sharp. This is no man. This is a ghoul. Gai Chu. The ghoul's blind eyes search back and forth as it regards you. It cannot see you, but you have a sense that it knows exactly where you are at all times. Ah, a hired gun. No doubt brought to bear against me by the Wampoan elders, a means by which they can lift the curse plaguing them. I salute your tenacity, but I wonder, will you hear me out before raising your weapon to kill me? You're a ghoul and you're talking. Yes, I'm not only talking, I am reasoning as well. And, since you have not attempted to kill me, your own higher faculties are engaged. I am a curiosity to you. The ghoul bares his teeth, breath rasping over them as he inhales. You wish to know not only what I am, but what I have done. As for who, you may call me Gaichu. I know who you are. You're the one killing the Wampoan elders. You are correct. I have killed all the Wampoan elders to date, though only Elder Magpie was according to my initial plan. I regret the deaths of the other elders, but it was necessary. What does Gaichu mean? Harmful insect. It's the name I have taken for myself, since the word is usually applied to pests, especially ones who drink blood, such as leeches and mosquitoes. The first character means injury or evil influence, and the second means insect or worm. This affair began simply enough. As you may surmise, I am not someone who can be seen in public without great risk. Wampoa Garden is an excellent place to hide. No police or triad presence, and minimal interest in things that lurk in the shadows. Unfortunately for me, Elder Ing discovered me through communion with her spirits. Rather than kill or chase me away, she came to me with a proposition. Ing and the other elders were having problems with one of their number. An elder named Magpie had been holding many of their plans hostage and would not budge. They could not remove Magpie. However, because her services were too useful to the Wampoans at large, Ing offered me payment to dispose of Magpie, and I accepted. Wu shoots you a sidelong glance, tusk bared as he grits his jaw. Why the hell are we talking to this thing, Yummer? It's a goddamn ghoul, and you know what they're like. Really? What, pray tell, am I like? All teeth and claws and bad manners, I expect. Gaichu's tone is amused, despite the harshness of his rasping voice. Really? You want to crack jokes, you cannibal? Wu takes an involuntary step forward, raising his rifle. You're the kind of monster that devour a family, just because it's convenient. Remember the 162s, Yummer? He's just like them. The 162s were a gang, Wu, in the Barrens. Like that makes a bit of difference. Go on then, talk to the monster, but I'm keeping my finger on the goddamn trigger. I believe that we were speaking of the Elder's plans to have me kill Magpie. Surely you must be a little curious about that. I've heard of Magpie, but her shop's still locked up. Naturally. They would keep her servers under lock and key to avoid any awkward questions about her whereabouts. I was thorough in disposing of her, as our contract stipulated. She was to simply disappear without a trace, a task that was easy enough to accomplish. I disposed of Magpie's body by emptying the blood into her bathroom. Then, I cut her up into more portable pieces. Those were placed in a plastic tarp, which I took to the storm drains and hid. Gaichu nonchalantly waves a hand, his tone flat and unconcerned. It's unfortunate, but my survival depends on consumption of raw metahuman flesh. Letting such nourishment go to waste would have been a foolish error. But why kill the other elders then? I contacted the elders, not in person of course, and they arranged to exchange payment. I assumed that since the job was done, Ing would be a woman of her word. Baring his teeth, Gaichu hisses his next words across clenched teeth. I was mistaken. I arrived at the nearby parking garage the elders had told me about. They'd cleared out the other Wampoans under some pretense, though I'm not sure what ruse they used. The elders never showed up. Instead, several members of the Hong Kong police force arrived. They were more heavily armed than usual, so I suspect they knew something of my nature. Oh, wow. Okay, so the elders made a deal with the devil, basically, and then tried to go back on it. I heard about the fight. You expect me to believe you took on a police squad and won? Of course. I have survived as a ghoul for some years now on the streets of Hong Kong. If that isn't evidence enough of my tenacity, I doubt any words I could say to you will change your mind. A betrayal of that sort cannot stand. Not only was I not paid for my time and effort, the Wampoan elders treated me like a common animal, and I am so much more than that. Reputation is everything, and I had none. I had hoped to build a network of contacts so that I would be able to continue finding work, but with that treachery, my hopes were dashed. I decided to become the monster that they feared. One by one, I have eliminated them. They know how to contact me, and could have ended their nightmare at any time by making amends. I would have asked for more money, but I would have asked for more money, but I would have ceased my hunt. Yet they did not. Instead, they contacted you, no doubt asking you to eliminate me where the police had failed. So I ask of you, what now? What will you do? Will you attempt to finish what the Wampoan started? Or will you treat me with the same humanity I have shown you? Let's see here. Let me ask you some questions. Very well. What would you like to know? Did you eat the elders? Why? What does it matter? Some of them, not all. My condition requires that I consume raw metahuman flesh. I do not require a great deal to survive. Perhaps 3 to 4 pounds per week. Consequently, there is vastly more supply than demand. Why would the elders have you killed instead of paying you? Any number of reasons. They are notorious cheapskates and will always try to save money when dealing with outsiders. It could be their natural inclination towards profit. They may regard me as subhuman, and therefore unworthy of respect. It could be that they felt I was too dangerous to allow to live. It could even be that they simply do not like me. The net result is the same, however. They reneged on a deal we brokered and attempted to have me killed. A message must be sent. Blood must be paid. As they have hired you to kill me, they have obviously not learned their lesson. If I let you live, what will you do? Kill the rest of the elders and anyone else they send to exterminate me. It is a matter of survival. Should I ever have the opportunity to work freelance again, potential employers need to understand the price of betrayal. These murders are my curriculum vitae in revenge. Ooh, I've made my decision? I haven't made it. Okay. Oh, what then will you do? How will this story end? Come and work with me? Okay. We were hired to stop the killings. So I'm going to say, come stop killing. Come work with me. I'll be your face. Yeah, come work for me. A curious offer. And what of the elders? Will you allow me the satisfaction of killing them? I'm going to say I want to see what they have to say first. I would counsel you not to believe their words, but you have the sound of one who is wary as a matter of course. Very well. Let us wait until a bit later in the night. Most pedestrians will be off the street, and it will be easier for us to approach the Whampoa without being noticed. Sounds like a good plan. I like this. Because I'm not really keen on these. The Whampoans are all about making deals and everything, and if it's true, they made a deal with this guy and then reneged on it, that goes against their whole thing. So yeah, let's head in here and talk to the elders. Okay, we're gonna save here. All right, let's go. Oh, they have a. This is gonna be a fight. I know it. Okay, get everybody up close. All right. Here we go. As you approach, Elder Ing's eyes widen. Her mouth falls open and her veins on her neck bulge. What are you doing? You've brought this thing into our home? Quick, kill it before it kills us. Porter hefts his pistol warily, but does not aim it at anyone. Yeah, I have to say, this isn't a good idea. Why the hell is a ghoul in here, and why is it wearing armor? Calm yourselves. I am not an it, and your elders know this, intimately. Gaichu bares his teeth in a rictus grin as he turns to face Ing. Good evening, Elder Ing. I can smell your fear, and I'm glad of this. It means you are learning the price of betrayal. Whoa, whoa, whoa. What the hell's going on here? Can someone explain to me why the ghoul is talking? Let's see here. Gaichu had a contract with the elders, and they betrayed him. You dare accuse us of conspiring with the monster and covering it up? You're insane. The very idea is preposterous. Porter nods at the elders, looking back to you with a wary expression. I'm interested to hear what kind of evidence you have to support this theory, Yummer. As far as I can tell, this monster killed Tong and the others, and that makes him a threat that should be eliminated. The elders hired Gaichu to kill Elder Magpie and make it look like she disappeared. You believe this vermin? This creature that feasts on metahuman flesh, that kills and dismembers our tribesmen? You are a naive and foolish man if you think this is the case. Ing spits on the ground in front of Gaichu. What proof do you have that Magpie is dead? Ing, please. In matters where an elder is accused of breaking our law, the other elders generally judge them. In matters where all of them have been accused, I am authorized to act as judge. Make your case, Shadowrunner. Ooh, okay. Okay. Oh, we didn't get much information. But we did find her necklace. Porter takes a moment to examine the necklace. He nods at you. This is definitely Elder Magpie's. If you found it in the storm drain, that's suspicious, but hardly proof on its own. Of course it's not proof. The number of things lost down the storm drains in Hong Kong must number in the tens of thousands per year. While unusual, it's hardly evidence of foul play. Excuse me. I got hiccups. She hasn't been seen in a month, not by anyone. She wouldn't just disappear like that. That may be unlikely, but it's hardly impossible. You haven't established that the elders were involved. All you've done is make suppositions about it. Okay, hold on a sec. Sorry. Sly, not right now. What proof do you have that we have hired and betrayed this creature? I won't sit by and listen to idle accusations without any kind of concrete evidence to back it up. What about the fight with the Hong Kong police force? How do you mean? What does that have to do with the elders and the ghoul? You Whampoans don't allow police inside the area. Why make an exception this time? The police were polite and asked our permission to enter. They were hunting a non-Whampoan. That was the reason enough to allow them in. Porter considers this for a moment and then shakes his head. That doesn't add up, Ying. Why would the police ask us for entry now? They've never been polite before, and they've always tried to force their way in here. It just doesn't ring true to me. Did you ask them to come in order to hunt down this ghoul? Preposterous, Porter. You know what our community is like. We wouldn't lie over something like this. This ghoul has been lying the entire time, trying to cover his tracks. He's still brutally murdered several elders. That's true. Those murders were vicious and cruel. Porter fixes you with a hard stare. I don't see any way to explain that away. This ghoul is a monster for how he killed Tong and the others. Which one? Both are true, but which would be more effective? Okay, astral residue. These guys are tech heads, so I don't know if that doing mystical stuff. I'm going to say the scene of Tong's murder, like the others, was a deliberate sham. It was made to look more horrific than it was. I believe you. The blood smeared on the walls, the removal of his skin, that's a scene designed to invoke horror, not the scene of an actual fight. Elders, what do you have to say in response? This is a farce. We have dedicated ourselves to protecting the Wampoan tribe and everyone who lives in Wampoa Garden. Do you really believe outsiders and a monster over our word? We, who have only tried to end the killings? You've been duped, Porter. You and this Shadowrunner. I concur. Porter, you know me. You know the kind of person I am. I wouldn't be party to the killing of another elder. I can't believe we're even entertaining the notion that we have to defend ourselves. We should be disposing of this ghoul instead. Tang narrows his eyes at you, hissing. If you think I'll forget this, you're sorely mistaken. I will not tolerate this kind of insult. I'm going to say, the elders were all too happy to have the red spears move into the garage, almost like they wanted to keep anyone curious about the fight away. That's right. That's right, Ip. You even told me not to go find out what happened with the fight. You said the Red Spear's gangers were moving in and to leave them alone. Why would you tell me not to look into it? I was only trying to protect you from the Red Spears. They're dangerous, which is why I wanted to deal with them directly. That's all I got. All right, I think I have some idea what's going on here. And what do you believe the real story is? Oh, man. Damn it. It's obvious to me that you've done only a minimal amount of investigation. What's more, you've made a mockery of our request to eliminate a dangerous killer, and he's completely fooled you. How could you be duped by such a flimsy story and believe such a dangerous creature is beyond me? Thank you, Porter. You disappoint me, Yemmer. You're obviously a fool and a poor choice for hired help. I regret ever contacting you. Oh, man. Very well. In order to protect the Wampoan tribe, I sentenced this ghoul to death. I also sentenced the Shadowrunner to die as well, as such a dangerous individual who is so easily swayed could one day turn against us. Now wait just a minute, Aang. Porter, do as you're ordered. We are your elders. With that, Ip raises his weapon. Son of a bitch. All right. Okay, here we go. Let's see here. I'm gonna get out, move over here, turn on my drone. Okay, let's see. Let's whoa, big hit. Oh, okay, dropped one right away. That's nice. Oh yeah, he's got another, he's at 3 AP now. She is my decker. You know what? Oh, I thought I got to set those off. I didn't know it automatically does it. Well, okay, if we're doing that, let's go. Okay. I need to get some cover. Alright, and let's see here. Actually, no. Let's do that. Oh, I forgot I got him. Oh, they're coming after me. Okay, let's see. Oh, 86. Hold on. She's got a new ability. Steady shots. That's good. Oh, but that takes 2 AP. Okay. Let's see. Darn it. Okay, let's get an aim shot. Okay, one left. Let's move him over. Oh, this is my drone. $41. One more. Okay. Oh, man. As the elders fall to the floor, you stop and survey the carnage around you. It is accomplished. No more betrayers alive. No more worry that others may think they can take advantage of me. Lead the way. I look forward to our new business partnership. Okay. I think there's going to be some fallout from this. All right. Return to Hawaii. Yeah. So that did not go the way I'd hoped. But hey, we have a new team member. So we got that going for us. Oh, okay. You're about to leave the location. Return to Hawaii. Continue? Yes. All right. Hawaii. The MTR rockets noiselessly towards Hawaii along the edge of the Kowloon Bay. The black water glitters in the night with the light of 1,000 reflected storefronts. Gaichu stares sightlessly out the window, one hand pressed to the glass. The Wampoan elders are dead. They forced your hand and paid the price for it. Their story was a cleverly crafted lie, meant to put the ghoul to death for their greed. But was the trade you made worth it? The uncertainty of that choice is clouded as the sky above you. I feel actually pretty good. This guy's a monster, but they were actual monsters. They were horrible people. Okay. Come on. Come on, game. Okay. Oh. Your calmly chirps. It's kindly Chang. Yeah, we got some explaining to do here. Let's go. Yes, ma'am? Come to the Mahjong parlor, my darling. I have something I want to show you. Your crew is already here. Oh, what's my crew doing there? Waiting for you. Her voice gets testy, like I am now. So hang up the comm and get over here. Okay. Hold on. We have... Oh. All right. So... we got a couple levels up for him. We can get Red Samurai. Or this is the active defense. Gaichu gains a defensive ability, adds 2 armor and 1 dodge. or Rip. Gaichu gains a claw ability Rip. Does an additional 2 damage and 2 bleeding damage for 2 rounds. Oh, we like that. We'll take that. And then, let's see here. Shuriken. Hold on. Gaichu gains a ranged ability. A quick Shuriken toss. Damage is 12, 1 AP. Oh, that's actually nice. Or he can spit. Gaichu gains a ranged ability, spitting affected saliva into the target's face. Ignores all armor. Damage 8 with additional... Oh, yeah. Yeah. We like that one. Okay. All right. Okay, so we need to see what Kindly Chang wants, but I want to check in. Actually, here, let's go talk to Kindly Chang first. And then we'll talk with everybody. Okay, everybody's here. Oh yeah, everybody. Because Ractor and now I forgot his name. Darn it. Gaichu? As you walk through the Mahjong parlor, you see your crew waiting for you. Clearly uncomfortable to be so close to the Triad boss. Then you see why. Kindly Chang's cheeks are flushed and glowing. She's already hit the bottle pretty hard. Ah, Yemmer, you're here. Excellent. Yes, Yemmer, it's good to see you. Gaichu, that's his name. They both have expressions that say they'd rather be anywhere else. Oh, she has information. Okay, that's cool. I thought we were going to get chewed out for wiping out the elders. Let's get to it, shall we? You said you had a lead, Auntie? I did, and I do. Kindly Chang takes out her PDA and gently places it on the table in front of her. The wiretap we placed on the police force has borne fruit. Her mouth breaks into a wolfish grin as her eyes take into a feral gleam. She appears fueled by alcohol and vengeance, a hungry beast on the hunt. My people have delivered a snippet of a recorded video call between the plastic-faced man and Chief Inspector Crate of the Special Duties Unit. Whoa. This should be good. Should we take a seat? Unfortunately, it's only a snippet. There were some technical difficulties with the tap. She glances at Bao, who nods back to her. The person responsible has been sacked. Chang reaches out a lacquered fingernail, hunts for the button she's looking for, and stamps it in victory. There's a loud crackling noise at the beginning of the recording, followed by a squelching squeal that makes Gobbet cover her ears in pain. When the video recording begins, the man's voice sounds far away, as if he's talking through a thick pane of glass. The woman's is louder, closer. Say that again? There's something wrong with this line. I said, my client isn't interested in hearing more excuses, Inspector. That's what I thought you said. I'm not making excuses, mister. I have a department to run. Not for much longer if these 2 Westerners aren't found. They're linked to this Raymond Black somehow, and my client wants them out of circulation immediately. The 2 runners are his accomplices too, the little orc and the dwarf with the cyberdeck. Gobbet looks at Isabel's wide-eyed and swallows hard. Isabel winks back reassuringly. I'm aware, Inspector. Thank you. We don't know how much any of them know, and my client is adamant that the risk be mitigated immediately. I've already made this the SDU's highest priority. If Josephine wants more resources on it, I'm going to need allocations from elsewhere in the department. Who's Josephine? That is a problem that can be easily dealt with. My client wants this over, now. No more excuses. No more fuck-ups. No more cops floating in the river. Kindly Chang smiles at that and pours herself a shot. Tell her we're redoubling our efforts. Very good. Dead or alive, you bring them to me. My client requires my personal verification that the threat has been eliminated. Hang on. This light is getting worse. There's a sharp crackle as the recording ends. Kindly Chang picks up her PDA and puts it away with a smile. She unscrews the cap on her bottle and pours herself a shot with a flourish. That's the guy we saw in the surveillance footage. The one who killed Raymond Black. She leans into the PDA. That plastic face looks a lot cooler close up. I think it's kind of pretty. That video doesn't tell us much. I mean, we already know that there's an APB on us. All we're sure of now is that the man with the plastic face is definitely working for someone else. This Josephine. Is that all we have, Auntie? A first name? It's not just a first name, Gobbet dear. It's the first name. Josephine Sang. She's the one pulling the strings. Kindly downs her shot and slams the glass upside down on her table. That disease-riddled dog fucker. I should have known it was her from the beginning. She drums her fingers on the table in front of her. And she had the nerve to call down the heat on my runners? On Nightjar? Oh, that scabrous fossil is going to pay. This woman has enough power to order the HKPF to hunt us down? Mm-hmm. Chen makes a wet hacking noise at the back of her throat and spits on the floor. She's the CEO of Sang Mechanical Services and a member of the Hong Kong Executive Council. Her face turns to a mask of disgust. Josephine Doug fucking Sang. Okay. CEO, huh? What do you know about her? She was Hong Kong's Philanthropist of the Year in 2054 and 2055. Children's hospitals, homeless shelters, food distribution centers. Good causes, and the kind that get good PR because people are too lazy and myopic to look for the real people doing the hard work, the face-to-face with the poor work. Don't be so cynical, Isabel. Annie Chang smiles at her sweetly. Coming face-to-face with the unsanitized for video poor is distasteful, dear. You know that. Her face gets stony. Beyond being a CEO and philanthropist, I also know that Josephine Sang is a lying, conniving bitch. Sounds like you two have a history together. Whatever gave you that impression, my sweet? Her wolfish smile returns. Yes, my darling, I don't like Josephine Sang, and I'm going to fuck her up. I'm going to fuck her up bad. Care to elaborate on that, Auntie? No. She picks up her bottle of swill. Its turpentine fumes drift our way. Not now, not today, but you'll be there, my darling. I'll make it a party. What is Sang Mechanical Services? Josephine's baby. It was a B-rated corporation before she married into the Sang family, but after she fought for and won the contract to rebuild Kowloon Walled City, their fortunes rose high. They began to rise to power that eventually landed Josephine on the executive council. Wait, so there's a connection between Josephine Sang and the Walled City? Yes, the same place Raymond Black hired my runners to take him. I've already connected the dots. I don't know what it means, but it clearly means something. What do you think the connection is between Josephine Sang and this plastic-faced man? I don't know yet, but I will. You called her his client. That may be some sort of lead we can follow. Chang nods at Will. Her glance lingers at his biceps a moment before continuing. Right now, all we know is that he is her instrument, the one who killed Raymond Black. Raymond's not dead. Yes, you may have mentioned that before, Gun Show. She smiles at him reprovingly. Regardless, the plastic-faced man is still our best lead in figuring out what's going on. Okay, let's cut to the chase. What's our next step? There's nothing we can do to touch Josephine Sang, as much as I hate to admit it. But the plastic-faced man is a different story. He's a third-party operative who's been careless, and he'll live to regret it. Her little black eyes turn stony. For a while. If Sang thinks she can take out 2 of my runners and get away with it, I'm going to have to explain things to her. She pulls out a thin black cigar and runs it beneath her nose. We're going to find the plastic-faced man, and we're going to hurt him. We'll hurt him until we know everything he does, and then we will use that to strike back at Josephine Sang. She lights her cigar and takes a deep, deep pull. You'll have your vengeance, and I will have my own satisfaction. She turns away and picks up the bottle. Now get out. I have work to do. Okay. Okay, we've already talked to that dude. What happens if we try and talk to her again? No time for runners now. I have other business to attend to. Okay. Well, let's head out then. And we'll save. And we're going to do our rounds here. Talk to everybody. Talk to Reliable Matthew. Reliable Matthew stands quietly in his drone lot, arms hanging limply at his sides. He stares silently at the ground. This isn't the soft-spoken style of many Hong Kongers. He looks sad. He looks up briefly as you approach, but quickly looks back at the ground. Hey, Yammer. He mumbles his words softly. What's going on? You don't seem yourself. Matthew mumbles something under his breath. After a moment, he looks up suddenly. Can you do me a favor, Yummer? I can't leave the lot right now. What's the favor? I was supposed to pick up my medicine this morning, but I overslept. Can you get it from Ambrose for me? Sure. 10-armed Ambrose? Thanks. Oh yeah, no worries, man. I'll go get it. Do you have anything else to... No, I don't have your medicine. Okay, well, we'll be back and... Okay. Let's keep moving. Let's talk to the Go guys here. Jin frowns. Look who's back. Why don't you go egg a car or something and leave us alone? I, for one, enjoy Yummer's visits. A hint of a smile touches Lao's lips as Jin grumbles to himself. How can we help you? Sorry to interrupt. I was just wondering if you're all still having the dreams. This again? Don't you have anything better to do? Yes, we're all still having the dreams. Lao's voice is calm but troubled. However, they've gotten a hell of a lot worse. Jin shifts uncomfortably. Look, let's not go into detail. Anything would be great. Oh wait, we've already done this. Sure, yeah, we've already read this. Okay. Staring at me for a while, blah blah blah. Okay, yeah. Understood, take care. Yeah, we already did that. Okay. Let's go talk to Meow. Crafty. Nothing new to report, Yummer. You're welcome to take a look around. Nope, just browsing. Thanks. See you around. Alright, nothing new there. Alright, let's head back. Actually, can we go up here? Alright, let's talk to... Forgot their name. Spider Shed. Yeah. Leaning against the weapons table, Shen rests one hand atop the glass-covered case. Inside the case is a thin Chinese sword, a jian, with an ornate grip and blade etchings. A small label on the side of the case reads, "For White Ming." Oh there, Yummer. Come to find a blade, or maybe some ginseng and peony root? How did you know my name? I never told you. You think all I do is sit on this boat and wait for you to show up? Come on. You're kindly Chang's pet Shadowrunner. Your name's all over Haoi. Shen grins, gesturing at you. You stand out, man. That's a good thing. It means you're becoming somebody, not staying one of the forgettables. Shen stands twisting left and right in a chorus of cracking vertebrae. So, what do you need today? What's with the sword? This little thing? Shen runs one hand over the glass on top of the case, smiling fondly. This is a masterpiece, crafted by my own hands as a gift for White Ming. He's being elevated to a red pole. 120 centimeters in length, 3.5 centimeters width at the base, tapering to 2.75 before the tip, half a centimeter in thickness with a twinning dragon motif along the fuller, and it lights on fire when the appointed owner holds it. Very nice indeed. Shen's annoyance is as glass shards in the reply. Nice is a bouquet of orchids. Nice is a fine meal after a hard day. Nice is a pleasant weather while you relax on your boat. This isn't nice. This is a masterpiece. Few red poles in any triad could claim a weapon as fine as this, and none of them are masters of Wudang's sword like White Ming. His skill with the Jian are peerless in Hong Kong. Any who face him in combat will know when he draws his sword that they have no chance against him. Nice indeed. Pah. What goes into making a sword like this? Time, patience, good steel stock, to be certain, a fair amount of alchemical materials like orichalcum, crystals, etc. The real key is human bone. The old Chinese masters would throw in human bones when folding the steel. The phosphorus does something or other to the carbon and iron, and I can't really explain it because I'm not a metallurgist. I just do what I learn on the mountain. But it works, believe me. It gives the blade a soul. It's not so much the edge that cuts, but that soul. It's why weapon foci go through spirits like knife through butter. Show me what... talk to you later. I don't carry any... I don't use his stuff. Or their stuff. Alright. Let's see here. Well, let's go talk to Ambrose. Talk to Ambrose. Ambrose is staring at a flat panel monitor on the wall. A local news channel is zoomed in on an ultra-modern aircraft carrier moored in Victoria Harbor. You following the IGN story? A Kensai fighter wing from the Masamune did an honorary flyby of the executive council meeting today. They're rattling the saber hard. Everybody's being courteous as hell, but nobody's blinking. The IJN? The Masamune? What are you talking about? The Imperial Japanese Navy. They've parked the carrier Matsume's battle group in Hong Kong for a visit. They're trying to intimidate the city. Nobody's having it. Not even the Japan Corps. It looks like it's being driven by some sort of weird internal Japanese pissing match. The Imperial militarists want to cow Hong Kong and bring it under the umbrella. However, almost every megacorp, including all the Japan corps, want Hong Kong to remain independent. Tensions are high. Is there any chance that Japan will take over the Hong Kong Free Enterprise Zone? No way, not in a million years. This kind of rooster show goes down all the time. Worst that'll happen is a bunch of more posturing, like the IGN has an accidental fire incident with a coastal boat. Somebody test fires an anti-ship missile. The Port Authority finds the Matsume's paperwork lacking and charges them exorbitant harbor fees. Noise like that. They're a bunch of square-haired idiots with muscle cars revving at each other. Just stay out of smuggler holes. The IGN likes to go on sprees of blowing them up to show how well protected HK would be under their yoke. Ambrose snorts in amusement. Those honorary flyover fighters had live ordnance loaded. Ridiculous. Say what you will, though, that Kensei multi-role fighter is a sweet bird. Ambrose ogles a close-up of one of the shark-like jets on the wall screen. Twin Mitsubishi double-aught Delta turbofan engines, ramjets, thrust vectoring, Generation 4 fly-by-wire. Hey, gorgeous. Do I have anything to worry about? Yeah. Don't go into a bar full of drunk Japanese sailors with a free San Francisco t-shirt on it. Ambrose snickers. This whole IJN drama is going to go on like it always does. The Japanese Navy will eventually realize no one is even paying attention. Then they're going to steam off in a huff and maybe blow a few smugglers out of the water. Happens all the time. Bah, politics. I can only talk so much. Let's move on. Let's see. You came here as a runner. Now you're a busted up doc. What happened? Hey, I'm not busted up, you insensitive jerk. I'm economy size. Ambrose erupts into laughter, slapping the side of his wheelchair. He quickly devolves into shameless giggling. He stops giggling and cocks a sober eye at you. Seriously, though, that's some heavy shit. It'll take a while to tell. Do you really want to know? Yes, I do. He appraises you quietly. Well, you're doing good, Yummer. I feel okay telling you about this. A run went bad. Ambrose spits on the floor, emphatically, in clear defiance of his own prominent sanitary space, no spitting sign. Real bad. They used to call me Ripshot. I was on a 10-man crew. It We were led by this ex-army troll named Icebreaker, former combat engineer, brutal guy. We did shadowrunning, armed robbery, office invasion, underworld hits, anti-branding, just about anything as long as we could make money and hide our tracks. Shadowrunner, anti-branding, that's usually a euphemism for attacking someone's image with false flag terrorism. Yeah, it is. Look, I was a real asshole in those days. I'm not proud of the jobs we did. A lot of our work was high profile, real violent. We dumped a lot of bodies in the harbor. Then we had this one job. Ambrose pauses. He takes a deep breath. Hey, I can sum this up real quick. Otherwise, I tend to get long-winded. What do you want? Give me the full story. We were breaking into an actually, hold on. We'll be right back as we get into the story. We'll be right back in just a moment, everybody. Okay, we are back. All right. So, Tanner and Ambrose, we were breaking into an R&D facility. It was a vanilla job, cheap rent-a-cops, flawed security system, no problem. It was going like clockwork. I was out in the command van on Overwatch. Bam! Something hit the van like a freight train. Ambrose grits his teeth. His body visibly tenses at the memory. The walls crushed in on me. There was a flash of light, then darkness. Stabbing. Everywhere. Pressure like a mountain falling on me. Feeling crushed to a pulp. Then I blacked out. Ambrose falls silent. He seems to be somewhere far away in his mind. The seconds tick by. We're just going to wait for him to continue. When I woke up again, I was in pitch darkness. I couldn't hardly breathe. I was being burned by hot metal. The pain was indescribable. There was a shrieking, like metal was screaming around me, and sparks. Someone was cutting through the wreck. A huge pressure lifted off me. There was a blinding light. Ambrose gives a tense sigh. He's trembling. It was our glove woman, Karen. She pulled me out of the wreck, wrenched 4 tourniquets on me, shot me up with drugs, stuffed me in a security car she'd shot up. Karen jacked me in. I couldn't even hold my head up. I thought my spine was shattered. Once I was rigged in, though, the pain in my meat didn't matter. I drove us out of there. I stayed conscious just long enough to get us to a friendly clinic. By the time I got us there, Karen was going down with brain swelling. Ambrose's eyes seemed to clear, as if returning from far away. We got barn stomped right proper, slaughtered. They crushed the command van with the front end loader and left me for dead. Everybody but me and Karen got wiped out. Oh, we have drone control. You were the team rigger. How did a construction vehicle blindside you? Ambrose looks uncomfortable. Well, we thought it was a milk run. Our Overwatch wasn't what it could be. It happens. Yeah, it happens. How did Karen escape? Karen was carrying the first haul out when the assault team hit us. She jumped into a koi pond and lay at the bottom for about 5 minutes during her woo-woo key centering thing. They dropped a flashbang grenade into the pond to clear it. That messed her up good. Burst her eardrums, gave her a concussion, ruptured the blood vessels in her eyes, nose, mouth, knocked the air out of her lungs. She stayed at the bottom for another couple of minutes. I once asked her what it was like. She just said, painful. That was Karen. Stoic like a concrete block. Who ambushed you? I still don't know. Best I can figure out, it was some sort of counter-intrusion team. Maybe the whole run was a setup. You're wrecked, Ambrose. How did you survive such trauma? Ambrose taps the side of his head. Cowardice and job security. I was always real scared of getting hurt. I'd clutched up my tactical computer with some heelwear and my headwear radio. As soon as my vitals went screwy, my trauma protocols kicked in, and my radio started broadcasting my heartbeat. Karen couldn't drive. She'd homed in on my beacon and cut me out of the wreck with our demo saw. Then she shot me up with enough adrenaline, PM04, and morphine to reanimate a corpse. Ambrose shivers a little at the memory. And she put 3 trauma patches on me in a row. It shredded my renal system. He taps his chair. That's why this little hot rod has an artificial liver and dialysis machine in it. Anyway, that's how it all went down. Afterwards, things were real hard for a while. Ambrose seems to take stock of himself. He breathes heavily. Tension drains from his body, and slowly he relaxes. Here I am, though. Ripshot no more. By the way, Ripshot is dead. Let's keep it that way. Please don't say that name to anyone, okay? Karen was an artist at faking deaths, and she made sure we both vanished. Ambrose shakes himself and rubs his eye anxiously. Listen, Yemmer, this is a stressful subject for me. We can talk more about the past another day. For now, I'm spent. Okay? I'm here to pick up a reliable Matthews medicine. Ambrose's eyes rise in surprise for a moment. Really? Well, okay. A Waldo arm opens a cabinet and crackles through a packaging. In a moment, it swings over to you holding a plastic cylinder about the size of a roll of breath mints. Here you go. The arm gently sets the cylinder in your hand. What are these? Sorry, Emmer. I can't discuss a patient's treatment without permission. Confidentiality and Hippocratic Oath and all that stuff. I'm going to say, Ambrose, you're not even a real doctor. Hey, I'm a real doctor of the people here. Look, Emmer, how would you feel if I told people about the injuries you and your team come in with, huh? I got to respect people's privacy. Okay, I'm just going to look at it. The cylinder is lettered with holographic Hanzi. Cool blue jazz. Non-smoker version. It has a stylized illustration of a laid-back lounge lizard of a man wearing a zoot suit and smoking a cigarillo. Through the semi-transparent plastic, you can see a stack of what look like tiny pills or chips. Okay, we'll look back. Okay, and we'll pocket the cylinder. All right, show me your services. Do we have enough for cyberware? No, because we didn't get paid, so we'll exit. All right, goodbye, Ambrose. Time for me to go. Cheers, Amber. Talk to you later. Okay, bye. All right, let's head back out. We're learning more about Ambrose and everybody around. Let's talk to the Phi family? Ka-Phi family. Frederick Ki-Phi, the younger of the Ki-Phi sons, mans his post at the club's front door. He's showing off his hulking arms to a couple of wan-looking girls from the docks. Their clearly self-interested fawning gets them inside with no cover charge. I know what you're thinking. Some perks, right? For them, maybe. Who? Those girls? Pah, they're harmless. Having some fun with me. Hey, all this stuff around here, it's just all fluff, anyway. You know what? You know that. I I know you know that. You've got the eyes. Doing what you do, you know what's what and what ain't. We're the same, you and me. People in here may look the part, but it's different with us. We're legit. We've got that edge. Everyone else is just a poser. Have you done anything other than bouncing? It's not about what I've done. It's about what I can do. I've got potential. I just need to prove it and show my ba that I can do what he used to do. This cushy life, it's not for me. I'm capable of so much more. Mom won't ever see it, but I know my ba will understand. He's not meant for this kind of life either. You know it. You've talked to him, right? You see it in him. Once a badass pirate, always a badass pirate. Gotta be the same with you, right? Can't ever see yourself going back to normal life. Shadow running is where it's at. You fancy yourself a shadow runner? I want to be something. Shadow runner? Sure. I see you and your types rolled up, hard edge like you are. I can see myself doing that. But there's also the triads. Lots of guys get their start that way. Work their way up. Some of them starting out as regular gangers. I'd be looking to jump a few rungs right off the bat, of course, considering who I am and who my ba is. But I think my ba would just be proud if I followed in his footsteps, join up with the pirate crew, be a scourge of the open sea. I know it's in my blood. I just need to let it out. I don't know about that, but I'll see you later. Alright, let's head inside, talk to everybody inside. Who's this dude? Oh yeah, El Duce. Oh, this is a new guy. This tall, well-built, I think it's well-built human has been watching you since the moment you entered Club 88. Surreptitiously, of course. Glances over his shoulder and the like. But you're certain he's been watching you. He finally speaks as you draw near. I hear you're the one to talk about work in the shadows. Maybe, maybe not. What's it to you? He shrugs and folds his arms across his chest. I'm looking for work here in Hong Kong, but I don't have my own team. I asked around who the players are here in Haoi. They said to talk to you. Call me El Duce. I'm a street samurai, good with shotguns, close combat, and I've got a bit of medical know-how to top that. My rates are reasonable, unless a run against Shiwaze. In that case, it's completely free. Why run free against Shiwaze? Because the sons of bitches killed my wife and stole my son. Duce's voice is hard and flat. Anything to screw them over, I don't need to get paid for. Why take your son? Profit in biology. He's got the genes for a type O immune system. You know what that is? Well, apparently it's a universal donor, but we don't know that, so no. What's that mean? It means his organs and blood can be donated to anyone. They're universally compatible. If a company wants to produce Bioware on the cheap, they use the sinless type O bodies as templates to grow the ware in. Human factories, basically. Sick stuff, but it's not like we can complain to anybody. Officially, we don't even exist. Shaking his head, Duce looks away. Let's talk about something else, okay? You live here in Haoi? No. Chung King Mansions, down the way, near Hung Hom. It's a real hellhole, but nothing like the walled city. Still, I come up here because this is where the work is. A lot of smugglers coming in and out, and a lot of freelancers needed to solve problems. Gesturing towards the rest of the bar, Duce surveys the dingy interior with an uncritical eye. Places like this exist all over the world. Dives where cops won't come in except with riot gear, where people like us gather around and try to figure out how to make our next million. Find the right one, you can find any kind of work you want. Have you been a whole Shadowrunner your whole life? Chuckling, Duce shakes his head. Nope. Originally I was in IT, tech support. That's a hell of a jump from being a Shadowrunner. Yeah, well, having your wife gunned down and your kids stolen tends to focus your attention. Sounds like a bad action sim, doesn't it? Still, that's how it happened. One day, Shiwaze's getting a reckoning. Okay, see you later. You too. Keep safe, alright? Alright, so he's on our list. He was already, we saw, on our list of possible Shadowrunners. Hey, Henry. You catch Henry Kai-Fi lost in reverie, staring at a wall plastered with photos. And while most are signed celebrity headshots, there are scattered among them more personal images from days long past. A lot of faces on this wall. A lot of strangers staring back at me. These aren't friends of yours? Nope. Just rich strangers with a publicist trying to lacquer them with street cred. We got the occasional SimSense star or athlete surrounded by an entourage of muscle and photographers. It's all for their image, you see. They want a stack of carefully staged photographs that seem like paparazzi shots in a notorious underworld hideout and arms bazaar. Henry smiles sardonically. If we were really all that, the HKPF would have bombed us by now. Club 88 is a neutral zone, and Ermine deals mostly in small arms. We clear the joint, let them stage things however they like, throw a few tattooed out blue lanterns in the background. In exchange, we get a big stack of Nuyen and a glossy face on the wall to show how popular our club has become. Kindly locks all Haoi down for the visit. Those fame bunnies are safer here than they probably are in their penthouses. It's all my wife's idea, of course. She's a good head on her shoulders. Callum's lucky he got her brains. I'm afraid Frederick takes after his old man. But wasn't it you who first started running guns through here? Heard about that, did you? Loose lips. But yeah, I took a turn as a small-time smuggler. Less excitement than you might think. Never really made all that much extra money doing it either. Had it been riskier, I never would have bothered. But our boat's engineer was a good friend of mine, and he was in on the deal. He could tuck away those crates in the engine room where only he knew they existed. I just had to shepherd them on and off the boat. Probably could have negotiated better deals, but I just wanted to be rid of this stuff as fast as I could. Didn't want Wu Jing to find out, and I especially didn't want Ermine to find out. But find out she did, though she surprised me with her reaction. Thought she would throw a fit, but the only thing she was mad about was my profit margin, and so she took over. Tell me about you and Ermine. She and I grew up together here in Haoi. We were childhood sweethearts, but how often do such things last? Then, back in 21, when we were both 18 and unsure of our futures, we both goblinized. The world was turned on its head. People said it was a disease or the result of a biological weapon. There was panic everywhere. But Ermine and I saw it differently. We saw it as a sign that we were meant to be. It didn't matter if we were lepers, because we were lepers together. Wish I could say she was the first and only love in my life, but there will always be another. I heeded her call for far too long before finally settling down here with Ermine. Even so, the call is always there, tempting me to go back, to be lost forever. Worst ways to go, I suppose. I do my best to resist, try to focus on what Ermine has built here for us. He's talking about the sea. I'll leave you be. Alright, let's talk to Callum. Callum? The elder of the two Kai-Fi sons is once again lost in his cups. He watches bleary-eyed as patrons pass him by. Something in his expression makes it seem that he resents each one simply for being. You again. Decided to make this whole home, have you? Be it ever so humble. Humility has no place around here. Sit down if you'd like. I could tell you tales. Sure, tell me a story. You ever hear the one about the Phantom Sailor? They say he was once a good man, provided for his family, loved his wife and children. He spent many lonely days out at the sea, working hard to make their lives better. But the ocean takes its toll. Every time he returned, he came back with a little less of himself. Until one day, the thing that came home was just a shell, the mindless body of the old seafarer, with his soul still lost at sea. The mind and body called to each other, and one day the sailor will walk down to the beach and step into the waves, letting the ocean swallow him whole. True story. Okay. Tell me about this family of yours. What's to tell? My brother's a meathead, and my parents don't even know or care who I am. They say they care for family first, but then family isn't four people under a roof. It's some abstract concept. It's the name that matters to them. The Ka-Fi name. That's family. My mother only cares about the business. Any hint that I want to look for a better opportunity is met with lectures. And as for Ba, he's never been the same since his life went into dry dock. First chance I get, I'll leave it all behind. Mark my words. Okay, I'll leave you. Alright, let's go talk to Mom. Let's go talk to Ermine. It feels as though a pall hangs over Club 88. There are fewer patrons on the dance floor, and far more hushed conversations than raucous frivolity. Ermine scans the too thin crowd as if she could suss out the reason for the change. Something's not right. Not right at all. Has it gotten like this before? Once or twice in the 10 years I've owned the place. Usually when it gets this way, it's for obvious reasons. The death of someone beloved in Haoi, or a terrorist attack hitting too close to home. This time, I don't know. But it doesn't matter. When spirits are down, people drink. When spirits are high, people drink. When we make money, either way. I just prefer knowing which way the winds are blowing. It comes from being an old sailor's wife. You said you worked in the corporate sector. Oh yes, I was with Baihu for many years before the boys were born. I started as low as one can get, but I was always good with people and I understood the politics better than most. Being a troll in the corporate world is very hard. There are a lot of bigotry. However, I turned it to my advantage in every way I could. People underestimated me. I used that in every way I could, and sometimes being able to project raw, contained power is very useful. Slowly, I climbed the ladder. Sometimes I wonder what might have been if Callum hadn't come along when he did. But there's no changing the past. Are things with Callum any better? No, he's become even more distant of late, more secretive. I saw him talking with someone the other day, the kind of person who doesn't belong in Haoi and shouldn't even be here. I don't know who they were or what they wanted, but Callum is clearly trying to hide it from me. I have a bad feeling. The same heavy feeling that hangs over this place. Something is wrong. Something is bad is coming from my son, and I don't know if I can stop it. I'm sorry, I shouldn't bother you with my words. Surely you have more important business. I'll leave you be. We need to get back to the boat and turn in get paid for our job. So actually we're going to run back over to Reliable Matthew, give him his medicine. There we go. Yes. Yes, I did. Really? That's great. Give it to me. What is this stuff? It's my medicine. It makes me feel better. He waves weakly at the drone line. It makes all this okay. Here, give it to me. Here you go. Matthew hastily takes the cylinder from you. His hands shake as he dispenses a single chip from it. He pulls back his hair and slots the chip into a hidden data jack. He stands stock still, eyes closed. His eyelids flutter, a ripple moves through his body. His eyes snap open. He flashes you a vacant grin. Hey, beautiful. Boy, am I glad to be back. The day was a little dreary there for a while, but now I'm back, and I'm in fighting shape. He pulls a fresh cigarillo from his pocket and twists off the autolighter tip with a gusto. It ignites with a frank crackle. Time to push some tin. You just slotted a synthetic personality. No siree, beautiful. This puppy's authentic. Genuine, authentic. Authentically awesome. Whew, wow. Smell that fresh air. Feel that victory. He cracks his knuckles loudly. Some lucky soul is going to get a great deal on a drone today, Yemmer. All thanks to you. Let's talk about your authentically awesome BTL personality. Matthew shuffles uncomfortably. Can't talk now, beautiful. Gotta make sales. I feel too good to slow down. Catch me later, why don't you? Alright, well, I do... Alright. Let's head to the boat and get paid so we can upgrade our stuff. Onto the safe boat. Alright. Mission computer. Alright. Let's see here. Check for new messages. One new messages. Auntie Chang and Josephine. From Gobbet. Hey, Seattle. I think I can add a little context to that thing between Auntie and Josephine saying, you know, the thing that makes Auntie hit the sauce and talk revenge? This is a combo of stuff I've heard and stuff I put together myself, so your mileage may vary. For years, the Yellow Lotus acted as tax collectors within the walled city. Since the walled city was built by Josephine Tsang and the Yellow Lotus was run by Auntie Chang, they must have had a working business relationship for a while at least. From what Nightjar told me, he was her favorite. You got that, right? Auntie was known as a real up-and-comer back then. She was on the fast track to be the next Yellow Lotus 438. That's a big deal, gig. That's a big deal gig, Seattle. Money and power galore. Now, you need to know that there were a lot of triads and corps doing biz in the walled city. All sorts of stuff. Sometimes they work together nicely, and sometimes people get bloody. The way I heard it, Auntie came up with some sort of grand plan to consolidate business in the walled city. The power would be split between the Yellow Lotus and Tsang's company, and everyone else would get cut out. If her plan worked, Auntie would rise in the Lotus like nobody's business, and Josephine Tsang would make long bank. There was a catch, though. In order for the plan to work, both women would need to jump through a lot of hoops. There'd be street-level maneuvering and power plays on Auntie's side, and blackmail and negotiations on the corporate level from Josephine Tsang. My info gets sketchy here. From what I've pieced together, Tsang went behind Auntie's back and took her plan to her boss, a 438 named Wong Lun Fat. They cut kindly out of her own plan. Why'd Tsang do that? My guess is that she saw Auntie as some sort of threat. People in the know say that Wong Lun Fat is weak and greedy. She can be manipulated if her palm remains well greased. Long story short, power was consolidated in the walled city, just like Auntie planned, only she didn't wind up getting any of it. Her climb up the Lotus ladder came to an abrupt halt. She's still a straw sandal, just like she was before Tsang backstabbed her. And now she's stuck in Haloi like a fly in amber. I'd be pissed too if it were me. From Gobbet. Okay, let's see here. Jobs directory. Claim payment for the Whampoa Garden murders. Submit the job is finished and wait for the response. A few minutes later, a message pops onto the screen. From k1ller Chang to Yemmer. I asked you to solve a problem, and your method of solving is to kill the people I was doing a favor for. I have half a mind to throw you in the goddamn bay. Oh, we only got 1,000 for that? Still, the Whampoans are now more afraid of me than ever, and money started flowing again. So I suppose that's something. I've attached your payment. The Whampoans made it explicitly clear that they wouldn't have paid at all, except to ensure that you never come back to the gardens. Next time, try not to fuck the job up so much I may not be as forgiving. Kindly Chang. Okay, well. Alright. Let's see here. Let's check the BBS. I don't think we have any pay data. Nope. Alright. BBS? Anything? Oh, geez, we got a lot. Looking for a decker. Looking for experienced decker for a discreet milk run on a low-level corporate lab. Potential for longer-term arrangement. We're a team that's been together for years. We're running our basic heist and occasional transport gig. We've got a reliable fixer and a long list of happy clients. Requirements. 1. You must take experimental sims during runs. 2. You must have a good sense of humor. Give me some Union 888. Weren't you just looking for a decker a little while back? I saw your ad, but I was wrapping up a one-time run with an old partner who's moved away. I'd be interested in a meeting. Isn't Muffin Top Ninja your fizz ad? Did someone call my name? Hey, MTN. Long time no beer. We gotta catch up, Sensei. Bring me on as your decker. I guess the kid who answered your last didn't work out. That's an understatement. I think we can count on you not to consume any drugs during runs. Most specifically, drugs that were part of the payload. Fatal experimental drugs that were part of the payload. Oh. Yeah. Ouch. That's not even a rookie error. It's just lack of common sense. A real shame that. Anyway, I'm glad you're on board, Runs. We're not going to have a problem with you. Okay. Want to trade eyes. We'll take anything. I acquired a huge supply of cutting-edge cybernetic eyes. My fence did a runner, so I've got eyes up to my eyeballs, as it were. Make me an offer. They've got the whole 9 yards. 2010 vision, camera, low light, thermographic modes. One size fits all. Sold in pairs only. Box set. Colors: brown, blue, violet, hazel, green, green flecked with gold, chrome. And you've got to install them yourself. Trade you a Ranger Arms SM3. Comes with a matching briefcase. Deal. Message me. Can I swap my old cyber eyes for a new set? Seriously, anything but that. Can I buy one blue and one brown? No, but you can buy 2 pairs. Jeez. Alright, Uncle says House of Pork. If anybody has the hankering to go to Uncle Say's House of Pork in Tai O, I can only say one thing. For the love of all that's holy, don't. I haven't been able to leave my house in 2 days. The only reason I can even post here is because of the RAS override on my deck. What did you eat? Maybe you were just unlucky. All I had were some sashimi and ribs. That's pretty basic, and it's hard to mess up. Unlucky is when I get a bad orange at the market. This isn't unlucky. This is something else. This is some kind of vile gastrointestinal sorcery. Oh my God. I only ate there once. Once. I still have nightmares. It felt like I'd eaten a wasp nest if the wasps were made of rusty razors and also on fire. I thought I was being clever by getting the pulled pork sandwich when I ate there. Nope. Aside from basically being a pile of congealed sludge and the bread being moldy, it was a week before I could hold down anything more solid than congee. What, are you all a bunch of children? Yeah, the kitchen is dirty, but I've eaten there dozens of times and not once have I gotten sick. Grow up and learn to eat adult food. Wait a second, aren't you the person who was raving about that food cart on the corner of Kimberly and Observatory? You told me to get the Yazoo glazed horse tripe. Yeah, how'd you like it? Pretty good, huh? If by good you mean the consistency of tar and old tires, yes. The tripe must have been a week or more old, and I'm pretty sure I smelled rot once the initial citrus blast wore off. Take note, this user's advice on food is not to be trusted. Oh God, reading that actually got me to push past the RAS override. Now my deck is covered in vomit. Thanks, guys. I mean it. Nothing I love more than being sick and disgusting. Alright, Walled City embezzlement history. I'm uploading another Walled City report. This one old, from just after they built it. I ended up digging into the history of the place. It's just archival plain text. Consolidated Press, Hong Kong desk. Sang Mechanical Services, Sang, was again accused in a joint lawsuit headed by Wuxing Incorporated of embezzling hundreds of millions of yuan during the construction of the Walled City low-income housing project. The plaintiffs filed an official complaint on Monday, stating that construction contractors had been heavily pressured by Sang to use cheap construction techniques, while kickbacks, graft, and misrouting of funds caused several hundred million yuan to vanish. Sang's legal team strenuously objected to the accusations, citing lack of proof and the corporation's own damaged fortunes. Legal team spokesman Li Kushan had this to say. The Walled City contract was a disaster for my client. The project was sabotaged at every turn by union activists and competing corporations. TMS struggled heroically to complete the project despite this interference. These parties now have added insult to injury by fabricating charges of malfeasance based on the very obstacles which they themselves created. This has truly become theater of the absurd. Is it true? According to Consolidated Press, financial analyst Gertrude Schoen, it seems unlikely. Sang has struggled financially since the Walled City project. Sang stock, ticker symbol TMQ, Hong Kong and Tokyo exchanges, is trading at around 40% of its peak, which it reached just after receiving the Walled City contract 4 years ago. Although investigators have indicated there is evidence of possible misconduct, no misappropriated funds have been found, and CEO Josephine Sang recently sold her Victoria Peak estate, citing financial difficulties. If TMS or the Sang family have been benefited from stolen Walled City funds, they're not showing it. Miss Sang could not be reached for comment. I always thought that Sang rocketed to success on the back of the Walled City. They sure trumpet that in their PR. Yep, it's a brilliant priest of historical revisionism. The Walled City was a huge loss of face and time, but somehow they rebranded the whole fiasco over the last couple decades. Maybe their underbidding made them seem like a real sucker and brought in the contracts. Oh, that was Isabel. Isabel, I find the fact that you posted a financial article to be charming. White Prism, did you just hit on ISO? Almanita's gonna skin you. No, that's just WP. He's incapable of flirting. Would you date a woman named Amanita and then try to charm someone else on the BBS? WP is just an aggro mentat with a poor social filter. You two must have an interesting relationship. Let's just say we radically complement each other. Alright, Merc Operative. Accessing, please wait. See, attached image dated to late 2050. The human in the middle is Simon Zhur, a mercenary fixer in Macau. He is a known quantity. I'm interested in the elf on his left. Anybody recognize this guy? Your person of interest is Rolande Han, a.k.a. Whipsaw. He's not a merc. He's a corpo turned runner turned corpo. He's now a counter-disruption advisor, currently under contract at Transys Neuronet. Zhor is just a broker, but I'm wondering what Whipsaw is doing with the third guy, the troll, Icebreaker. Icebreaker? He doesn't look like a decker. Icebreaker as in big as an icebreaker. The ship. He supposedly ran a paramilitary crew for a while. I've heard of this guy. He vanished 6 years ago. His whole team went completely dark. They were called the Fleet. Word is, they hit a big score and retired. Yo guys, I've got metadata that Icebreaker's crew got wiped out. Only 2 survivors, and you won't find them. Tin Helmet, I'm tired of your weird-ass rumors. Tin Helmet may be correct. One Fleet associate, Ustrada, posted on a BBS 6 times over the next year. Another, Balasong, was collected by a bounty hunter. See attached image. Thanks, White Prism. That's fucking awesome. We all really needed a picture of a woman shot in the face and slumped over a toilet. This isn't a gore board. I swear you got Asperger's or something. Alright, Kowloon car bomb. Car bombing in Kowloon City today, near Salisbury and Nathan. Triad hit? Extremists? The Triads don't usually use car bombs, and terrorists want a substantial blast to kick fragments. This one had a small explosive, but burned like an oil well. Voila. HKPD report appended. 1 fatality, the driver, a guy named Ripshot. Bird almost beyond identification. Wait, Ripshot? That's Ambrose's name. Ripshot. He's a rigger. He rolls for the Fleet. He's got a long enemies list. Oh shit, it is. No, Crazy Test. I don't know why people keep associating the Fleet with this Ripshot guy. The Fleet's rigger is a Shenzhen guy called Chainlink. Yeah, Ripshot has a lot of enemies, but he's a Kaofo Croc shaman over in Tuan Kong, and he's not dead. Several people have operated Hong Kong under the handle Ripshot in the last year. None of them are linked to the Fleet, but that crew is known to spread misinformation about their composition, so who knows? I see the body. Excuse me. I see the body identification was made from limb DNA, a skull fragment, and the footage from a nearby CCTV camera. White Prism, Amanita, are you going to go conspiracy theory on us again? No more posts. All right. So let's go back. We have money now. We're going to walk away from that. Let's head back out real quick. How much money do we have? 1,400. But I can only afford 1 drone right now. Oh, we have Karma. Alright. I need to get a second. Alright, so we need Rage Combat. This will give us an additional weapon slot. And then we don't have enough for that. We need 4. Okay, so we're going to confirm that. So now... Alright, well, yeah, we have another weapon slot so we can get another drone. But I only have 2 AP. So we're not going to get another drone right now. We'll go check cyberware. Alright, let's see here. Let's get moving. Head back to Ambrose. I might pick up another weapon. Alright, Ambrose. Oh! Ambrose... Ambrose is staring at footage of fighter planes on the wall-mounted video monitor. He looks sheepishly your way, then grins. I can't help myself. They're just such beautiful machines. That IJN Matsume is one hell of a flight deck. Let's talk about Reliable Matthew. Ambrose sighs. His expression suggests that he's had the conversation before. What about Maddie? Why are you giving him BTLs? Why am I giving him BTLs? Ambrose bristles. So he doesn't have to get cheap shit that's going to fry his brain from a street dealer, that's why. Those Cool Blues are pharmaceutical grade. Their tracks run clean and clear as live opera. Ambrose catches himself. Patient confidentiality. I've already said too much. He's medicated. God knows he deserves it. I'm going to say fair enough. Sounds like he has a medical need. That he does. It sounds like he's in a bad situation with his suppliers. Matty is always in a bad situation with his suppliers. He's a terrible businessman and used drone selling. That's a brutal business. You always have a lot more metal on the lot than you can afford, and the commissions are a pittance. Matty doesn't want help to do something else, though. He wants to hole up in his little drone buddies and be left alone. Ambrose thrusts his chin out defiantly. There ain't nothing wrong with that. Okay, what's his deal? He's a shy, sensitive guy who's had a rough life. Now he's got a shit job selling people the thing they love to hate. Ambrose shakes his head in exasperation. That poor guy. He wouldn't harm a fly. But if there's someone who should have failure to adapt tattooed on their forehead, it's Matty. I commend you thinking about him, Yammer. I really do. A lot of cases like Matty come through my door and I feel for them. If I didn't have this gig, I might be right there with him. But but by the grace of Chrome and Booty, go I. Ambrose makes a mock toast with his arm. To Reliable Matthew, hold true, little buddy. There's rest for you at the end of the tunnel. To Reliable Matthew. May he hang in there. All right, let's talk about something else. This is just depressing. All right, show me your services. I want cyberware. Okay. Oh, what? I still can't. Hold on. I can't do any of these? Huh. Okay. Here, let's just do this. Eyes. Eye data jack. Wait, what about brain? We need 2,000 for that. Right arm. Let's see. 6. Oh, wait. Yeah, I can't do cyber weapons. What about skin? Can't afford. I want that brain one, but it's 2,000. What about legs? Can't afford legs. I can afford an arm. It gives me 6 hit points, but yeah, I want the brain. I want the encephalon. Eyes. Yeah, well, we're gonna have to save up. I am gonna go do weapons. I have 2 weapon slots now, so we're gonna go up and get. I want a sniper rifle, basically something for far away and something for up close. So let's go talk to them. Alright. Okay, Ermine. Let's take a look. All right. Weapons. I like my rifles. Okay. Okay, here we go. That's a grenade launcher, though. Okay, sniper rifle. Here we go. $1,200. Come on, man. I think I can use smart link weapons. So I want a smart link if I can get it. So right now, what do I have? I've got the AK-97. Okay, I can afford these, but I don't have... Eventually I will get Range Combat 4. Let's see, Range Combat 4. Okay, so the highest I'm going to be able to go for sniper rifle is this. So right now... Hold on, that's a rifle, pierces armor. Okay, so for now, hold on, what do I have this. Does 8 damage. This only goes up by 1. So we're gonna get this. We're gonna buy that. And there we go, it's already equipped. Alright, confirm that. So now we have a sniper rifle for far away and an assault rifle for closer range. So let's head back to the boat to talk to our team. Okay. Let's go downstairs first. Raptor, do you have anything to say? My friend, there is something that I would like to discuss with you. Something related to the Ares run that you recently accepted. Oh, okay. There are men, former colleagues of mine, at that facility. I tracked them here from Russia. They are thieves. They stole my research, and I would very much like it back. Serendipitously, I now find myself in the position to recover what's mine and visit justice upon the villains who stole it. But if I am to do that, I will need your help. In short, my friend, need you to bring me along on this job. Okay. Yeah, I mean, another rigger isn't bad. All right, yeah, of course. You'll be the first man on the train when we head out. Thank you, my friend. You will not regret this decision. I guarantee it. Okay. Do you have anything else to say? Reactor's shop is sweltering hot, even more so than it was the first time you stepped inside. The whir of actuators accompanies the fine motions of the manipulator arms that hang over the ceiling. They are turning an object over and over in their articulated hands, soldering wires and hammering rivets. Ah, my friend, welcome back. Reactor touch types a series of commands into his bracer, and the arms relax into an idle posture. He smiles at you, a cigarette dangling from his lip. There, that's better. Now, what can I do for you? How are you getting along with the other members of the team? Perfectly well, thank you. They all seem competent enough, and there haven't been any major personality conflicts so far. He rubs his chin thoughtfully. So as long as they continue performing an acceptable standard, I can see no reason not to continue our arrangement. It's a good run. It's good to run with the team again. Sure, all right, but what do you think of them personally? They're fine, I suppose. All fine. Gobbett is quite charming, Isabel keeps to herself, and Duncan is doing his best in a bad situation. Gaichu is quite intriguing. I'm very pleased that the team is willing to overlook his unfortunate condition. Many in the shadows wouldn't be. There's a momentary pause. He shrugs. And that, I'm afraid, is all I have to say. Apologies if you were looking for more. You're still something of a mystery to the group, Raptor? Mind if I ask you a few questions? No, I don't mind at all. He takes a drag on his cigarette, then slowly releases the smoke. I can't promise that my answers will satisfy your curiosity, of course, but you may certainly ask. What was it like growing up in the Russian Republic? Tumultuous, as you might expect. You probably aren't old enough to remember the Euro Wars, but I am. I'd like to hear about them. My country was the instigator of the first Euro War back in the 30s. I remember the rhetoric, the hardships of living under a wartime economy, the rampant xenophobia that took hold. I remember how we all cheered when our forces invaded Poland. 3 months, that was all it took for our military to crush what meager resistance the Poles could bring to bear. It was quite the source of national pride at home. I remember our drive into Germany and the desperate bid to reclaim the eastern portion of that country for ourselves. Just think about the symbolic significance of such an act. An audacious move, to be sure, but Secretary Kropotkin was determined to make history. So what happened? Did the German military stop you? No, the Night Wraith incident did. Night Wraith? British-made fighter bombers with stealth capabilities. Very state-of-the-art, very powerful. At least that's what they were purported to have been. Nobody has ever come forward to accept responsibility for the attack. Regardless of who was behind it, the result was the same. Wave upon wave of bombings that targeted our forces and the Germans alike, coupled with the assassinations of dozens of military leaders. A devastating synchronized operation, expertly carried out over the course of a single night. At home, viral attacks shut down our power grids. Hundreds of thousands of Russians' homes found themselves without heat or electricity in the dead of winter. Koshi scuttles forward, allowing the rigger to rest his hand on the sloping metal of its chassis. Ractor stares down at his own deformed reflection on the metal of the drone's body, a sad smile on his face. I remember huddling under a mountain of cheap blankets that my mother had piled on my bed. They did little to protect me from the cold, but they were something I could hang on to, something tangible that I associated with warmth and comfort and home. There, as my body trembled and I watched my breath frost over, a horrible truth began to descend upon me. We had caused this. We were the villains of the First Euro War. For the first time, I came to face with what Kropotkin's folly had brought us, and there, under that ridiculous heap of rags, I came to realize what that would surely come to pass. The world thought us villains, and so they would treat us like villains. We would be pariahs in the international stage, crippled by retributive sanctions. We would never live down the shame. He wipes his hand as if cleaning them, a wry smile across his face. And then the AFA invaded Greece and Spain, sparking the off Euro War II. We deployed our troops to help repel them, and all was made right again. I have to imagine these style enemies in Poland and Germany even after the start of the Second War. We were still regarded with suspicion, of course, but all of Europe might have fallen if it hadn't been for our help. In essence, we took back our reputation at gunpoint. Not an ideal solution, I admit, but it worked. Within the span of 4 months, we Russians had gone from nobodies to a terrible threat to unlikely saviors in the eyes of the Western world. Studying exactly how this happened has taught me a great deal about human psychology and social dynamics. Human psychology? You say that as if you weren't one. He laughs. Just a figure of speech, my friend, nothing more. Now, shall we talk about something else? Surely there are more interesting and relevant things to discuss. You mentioned that the Second Euro War was started off by the AFA. Who were they? He takes a drag on his cigarette. Ah, yes, I suppose you wouldn't know. They were only active in the years surrounding the conflict, after all. The AFA was the Alliance for Allah, serving under Mullah Saeed Jazir, a coalition of right-wing Middle Eastern governments that assembled after the failure, some say sabotage, of the United Islamic Conference. They looked to a weakened Europe and saw an opportunity, one that my country was entirely responsible for creating. So the AFA invaded Europe, but Russia was really to blame. Yes, I cannot blame the AFA for acting as they did. Ultimately, they chose the same path that any hawkish power would have taken, given their circumstances. It would have been foolish for them not to. My country, on the other hand, was guilty as sin. We were the ones who blazed the trail. So what happened? How did the war end? The FA folded in 37 after Jazrir's assassination. A lucky thing for us, too. The body count could have been a great deal higher. In the years that they were active, the AFA gave us a hell of a fight. Did you immigrate directly from Russia to Hong Kong? No. Between my years in Nizhny Novgorod and my time here in Haoi, I spent a year in the free city of Berlin. That was where I got my feet wet as a Shadowrunner, you see. I ran with a team of anarchists for a time and learned the ropes of the occupation under their tutelage. Hey, that was where we were last game. We were in Berlin. What can you tell me about that team of yours? He shrugs. A good group of people. Disorganized to be sure, but capable. Sadly, we are no longer on the best of terms. What happened? An opportunity arose and I seized it. In so doing, I left Berlin for Hong Kong, and I did so without much advance notice. My absence made life difficult for them, and they blamed me for their hardships. You're a grown man. If you wanted to leave, you're under no obligation to stay. Thank you for taking my side, but I can see their point as well. As I said, my departure caused some complications for them. That said, I haven't lost any sleep over it. I merely did what I had to do. He looks away, a wistful expression on his face. Koshi scrapes the ground with his forelegs, its sensors fixed firmly on you. Ultimately, I would say that my time in Berlin was quite educational. Different from my earlier life in Russia, to be sure. As I said, the experience was invaluable. Ultimately, though, Haoi is probably better suited to my sensibilities. How so? Life in Hong Kong is more structured than it is in Berlin. Things make sense here in a way that the flux state didn't. He taps a finger to his temple. I have an orderly mind, everything in its place, neatly labeled and filed away. This approach is what allows me to make sense of the world. To say the people I knew in Berlin thought differently would be an understatement. Why did you move from Russia to Berlin? He holds his tongue for a moment, considering. When we first met, I told you that I parted ways with Grishin Aviknor under unfortunate circumstances, yes? You mentioned it. These same circumstances led me to Berlin. I was wrong, and I would not find recourse in Russia, he sighs. I suppose there's no sense in being vague. I'll tell you the story if you want to hear it. Yep, lay it on me. You may remember the self-repair system I mentioned in the first time we met. The module that would allow Koshi, or any sufficiently equipped drone, to repair itself. I told you that my research had been lost. That was not strictly true. It was stolen by a pair of colleagues who I had long considered friends. They were researchers from my old lab. They turned against me, stole our work, in truth, my work, and defected. Why would they do that? Desperation and ambition. They had always been fixated on getting out of Russia. Grishin Avicor was a nationalized corporation, and they would never get rich as cogs in a government-controlled machine. In our project, they saw their key to breaking away and earning their fortunes. Never mind the fact that I was opposed to the idea. Did you have any leads as to where they might have gone? Yes, the two had long spoken about moving to Berlin. Such was true of a great many academics in Russia. My homeland is a bureaucratic dictatorship, you see. There is little personal freedom, and there are many rules to be followed. As you might imagine, the stable anarchy of the flux state can be an alluring concept to those who live under totalitarian rule. Berlin is much romanticized back home. All right, makes sense. If you spent your life tied up in bureaucracy, you could do worse than moving someplace with no rules. Oh, the flux state has rules, my friend. They aren't codified, but they most certainly exist. Should you ever travel there, you'll want to remember that. But I digress. In the hunt for my traitorous colleagues, Berlin was my only lead. I decided that I would travel there. At best, I would find them, and at worst, I would be in a good place to rebuild my life. There is a squeal of tortured metal as Koshi drags its claws over the iron grating that covers the floor. Ractor glances down at the drone, and it goes calm. He takes another breath and continues. It took me over a year to locate my former friends. It was a long, painstaking search, but I was nothing if not determined. I finally found evidence that I'd used my research as a bargaining chip to secure positions at Ares, and that they were here in Hong Kong. And so you came here to Haoi. He nods. I picked up and left the next day. My old team was upset, to be sure. Lucky Strike, in particular, howled for my blood. But I know where my priorities lie. We know Lucky Strike. She was the one that always hung out in the underground bar. And so here I am, and here they are, and soon I'll be ready to act. I really must thank you for inviting me into the team. Your abilities will be invaluable when the time finally comes to make my move. Assuming, of course, you'll be willing to help. Something tells me that you weren't surprised when I invited you to the team. You were waiting for this, weren't you? I thought it might go over better if you believed it to be your idea. And it would seem that I was right. I am on the team, after all. Yes, you are, and you're right. I, for one, will be happy to help you. When you're ready, just say the word. Thank you, my friend. But this is a discussion for another day. We aren't ready to hit an Ares facility yet, and there is more intelligence to gather before we make our move anyway. When the time comes, I will let you know. Okay. I've got a few more questions for you, if you don't mind. Go ahead and ask, my friend. I'm not stopping you. Oh, let's talk about something else. What can you tell me about the colleagues who stole your work? Today they call themselves Taylor and Hardingham. He speaks through clenched teeth. Koshi drags a claw across the ground, and you can hear the squeal of metal on metal. Those aren't their real names, obviously. They shed their former identities when they left their old lives behind. And these two are in Hong Kong now. Yes, working for Ares Asia Holdings, ensconced away in one of their enclaves here. I am not certain which one yet, but I'm narrowing it down. He idly brushes Koshi's armory chassis with the fingertips of his right hand. Oh, how wonderful it will be to find them. What a reunion we will have. This stolen research means more to you than money, doesn't it? He nods his head. Yes, much more. It was my life's work, and it was important. Reducing it to a bargaining chip was a deadly insult, both to me and all those who would benefit from my work. I don't think I've seen you get this intense about anything. The corner of her mouth tilts upward. I suppose that's probably true. This is a matter that's near and dear to my heart. Indeed, it ties into the guiding philosophy of my life. Tell me, are you familiar with the concept of transhumanism? The transformation of humanity as a species by technological means? We don't have academic. Sure, if I'm not mistaken, we're already living in a transhumanist present. Yes, that's right. Transhumanism is no longer a philosophy. It is a fact. Look around you. Cybernetics are an important aspect of everyday life. Further, I would argue that the synthesis of man and machine is a crowning achievement of meta-humanity as a people. I'll go with you on that. In such a future, the capacity for unlimited self-repair would be indistinguishable from immortality. You can see then why the theft of my research came as such a blow. My former colleagues hadn't just stolen from me, they had taken my contribution to the future of our species and reduced it to a bargaining chip. Yeah, I get it. I'd be upset too. I was more than upset, my friend. I was livid. I still am. But all will be made right in the fullness of time. I am nothing if not a patient man. I can wait. He raises, brushes himself off. And with that, I'm afraid I'm going to have to bid you good night. I've taken enough of a break for one evening. There is still work to be done, and it would be lax of me to put aside any longer. Thanks, Rector. It was interesting. He nods at you. Good night. Okay. Cool. We're going to save there. Bit of a lore dump. And I'm guessing over here will be where Gaichu... Yeah. Come on. Gaichu. The storage room that functions as Gaichu's cabin is a cramped, overheated mess. Piles of old ship parts share space with tarnished cookware, flats of instant noodles, and a collection of cast-off clothes, and reams of diagnostic manuals for obsolete computer hardware. To top it all off, there's barely any light whatsoever. All of the bulbs in this room are missing. Gaichu is busily moving boxes around, apparently in an effort to carve out some personal space amid the junk that he shares his cabin with. As you enter, he cocks his head and turns around. Welcome to my sanctuary, Yummer. I apologize for the lack of light, but as I did not need it, Gobbet took the bulbs for use elsewhere. Gaichu puts down the box he's in the process of moving and politely bows his head toward you. How can I be of assistance? I just want to see how you're settling in. Gaichu rolls his shoulders in a diffident shrug. I live. I am among those who can make use of my services and who are not attempting to claim the bounty on my head. Is that not enough for now? Any thoughts about the last run? Gaichu shrugs, blinking a few times in surprise. What do you expect me to say? You have allowed me to live, invited me into your home, or boat, if you prefer, and have given me a means to earn an income and use my particular set of talents. I am pleased with this. In addition, you allowed me to extract vengeance on those who had wronged me. To me, that says that you understand the nature of reputation and fear in the shadows. I look forward to working with you. Is there anything else I can do for you? I need to talk to you about your condition, being a ghoul. Gaichu inclines his head. As you wish, you are my benefactor, and as such, I yield to you. Ask then. I will do my best to answer. How do I know that the team is safe from you? Because I give you my word that I will not harm you or anyone else on the team. Gaichu squares his shoulders, expression stony. I am a man with a disease, not a mindless beast. My word is my bond. I can accept that. Good. I would hate to think there is lingering distrust between us. Okay. Aside from being blind, how has it affected you? Aside from my heightened sense of smell and hearing, I am stronger, tougher, and more resilient than any mundane human. I can achieve feats of physicality that are normally restricted to adepts and those with extensive enhancements. Gaichu lifts one hand, fingers crooked to show off his elongated nails. Claws, really. These as well. As sharp as any small knife. I prefer my sword, but in a grapple they come in extremely handy. He draws one nail over the surface of his shoulder plates. A hair-fine spiral of armor peels off the nail's wake. Do you need to sleep? Gaichu chuckles, his laughter rasping out of his lips. Unfortunately, I do. I'm not an undead creature of legend. If I manage to unlock the secret of rest without sleep, I will be certain to inform you. It seems like your condition has stabilized. For now it has. I will not suddenly become a ravenous beast lurking in the hold of your ship. At least, no more so than I already am. Gaichu bares his teeth in a wry grin, dipping his head a little. Why did you pick the name Gaichu anyway? He already explained this. It was given to me. This is what the Japanese call ghouls for the most part. I am vermin, a thing shunned by polite society, to be hunted and slain for bounty. My old life is gone. It seemed as apt name for the streets as any other that I could choose. I like that attitude. It turns the tables of power. Gaichu chips his head in agreement. One does not defeat the enemy solely by strength of arms. One must turn one's own weaknesses into strengths. It's an old and valuable lesson, too often forgotten. Your armor is heavier than most Shadowrunners wear, and more distinctive, too. Gaichu nods, growling his assent. That is correct. It is the armor worn by the elite soldiers of the Renraku corporate military, the Red Samurai. What are the Red Samurai? The Renraku's Military Special Operations Division, the most elite that the corporation has to offer, on par with Ares Firewatch or Terengar's Ghosts. Red Samurai are world-class soldiers assigned to only the most difficult and important missions. Aren't they going to come looking for your armor? Cocking his head back, Gaichu smiles grimly. Of course they are, but not for the reasons that you assume. What do you mean? I mean to say they will come looking for me because I was bound by duty to commit seppuku rather than flee. Obviously, I have failed in my duty, and that is a grave insult and embarrassment to them. You were a Red Samurai. Indeed, for the entirety of my adult life, I was a member of the Renraku military, specifically the Red Samurai. That changed relatively recently. I feel the reasons are abundantly clear. Hence, I still possess my armor, my sword, my training. They have served me well in both my previous life and this one. How did you end up running the shadows? Gaichu rests out a coughing laugh that reverberates through the cramped room. What other employment is appropriate for an accountable whose only previous experience is in military operations? There are not many things I know how to do. This is one of them. Why not ask Renraku for medical help? In theory, Red Samurai who are wounded are given the best in medical treatment and cybernetics. If these are insufficient to return them to active duty, they are given a pension and retired. In practice, this is never the case. Red Samurai teams do everything together: eat, sleep, train, play. We learn to think for each other, move as a single entity. When a part of that team is broken, it affects everyone. Gaichu runs his claws over his scalp, sighing. The other members of the unit would be distracted, thinking about a wounded comrade. They would resent a new member for usurping the old member's place. So the wounded invariably take the same course of action. For the good of the team, ritual suicide. Seppuku. An interesting way to ensure unit cohesion. Perhaps in the UCAS or other Western countries, it would not be necessary. But for us, the laws of etiquette are different. Some call it extreme, but it was always done willingly. Or almost always, I should say. In my case, I became infected while on sabotage mission against Shawase in Osaka. The unit was infiltrating on foot from Nanawiya Ward through the Arinchiku slums. We had not anticipated a ghoul nest on our route. My surprise got the better of me, and I was bitten. Understand that since the passage of the Yamato Act, Japan is a pure country. Metahumans are deported, and to be infected with HMHVV is to be less than animal. You'll be killed on sight. Since this was, in effect, the same as being permanently crippled in the eyes of the team, it was expected that I would kill myself. Why didn't you? Because I was still capable of fighting. I questioned the necessity of suicide. Why should I die if I was still as effective as before? Was I not worth having simply because my diet changed? One doesn't discard a quality tool simply because the surface is stained. I made the decision to leave while the unit was allowing me time to prepare for my expected suicide. I took nothing but my weapons, armor, and a small number of personal mementos. I knew that the unit would hunt me down and kill me. Ghouls are considered vermin in Japan. To have a red samurai become one and refuse to die? Unconscionable. Unconscionable. How long did it take for them to find you? They found me 2 weeks after I ran. I was careless as I fled south, and they caught up with me in Fukuoka. But I escaped barely. It was at that point I decided I should leave Japan. I knew they would not stop hunting me, but I could make it more difficult for them. How did you end up in Hong Kong? I was searching for a cure. I needed a place where I could disappear into the shadows, find work, and evade capture if a cure did not materialize. The Yamato Act meant that this was even more dangerous to be in Japan than anywhere else. Gaichu smiles thinly, leaning back on his heels. I went to China primarily because I'd hoped to be able to return home. It felt less final if I fled somewhere nearby. I went first to Shanghai, but Renraku's presence there is significantly more robust than in Hong Kong. I learned that my previous unit had not stopped hunting me after I left Japan, so I decided to move further afield. Gaichu unfurls his hands, claws pointing downward toward the ceiling. Hence, Hong Kong. Where else can anyone arrive and disappear without the city carrying one whit? Berlin. Perhaps 5 years ago, but the recent upheavals and the newly iron-fisted Cedar Krupp influence filled me with trepidation. The flux state is no more. Long live the corporate Berlin of the future. Since arriving here, I've drifted between neighborhoods, selling my services to those who are unafraid of my appearance and condition. Gaichu frowns deeply. It has not been as profitable as I'd hoped. Did you grow up in a corporation? Yes, in Kaihanshin, the Kyoto-Osaka Kobe sprawl. It is less populated than Neo-Tokyo, not by much. I grew up in East Kobe, where my father was posted in a Renraku complex. Gaichu roots around in a nearby box, running his fingertips over several chips before deciding on one. He slots it into his PDA, and a tri-D photo flickers to life in the space between you. A young man, obviously Gaichu, leans against a railing which overlooks a sprawling harbor complex of skyscrapers and cranes. His school uniform is ripped, and the beginnings of a black eye are forming. Abrasions cover his knuckles, and blood dots his pants. Despite this, he's grinning like he's just won the lottery. Vibrant, fierce. You look a little beat up. That must be on Mount Maya. If I remember right, I gave better than I got that fight. 3 against 1, but they were out of shape and cocky. I used to cause a lot of trouble when I was in school. My father was constantly raging that I had no sense of responsibility and that I needed to take life more seriously. A cackle erupts from Gaichu, sudden mirth spreading across his face. The final straw was when he bailed me out of jail. I've been in jail a few times. What'd you do? My friends and I stole a delivery van. It had a shipment of Shiwase SimSense decks. Brand new, very expensive. We were going to fence them and use the money to take a trip to Okinawa. Gaichu pauses, cocking his head. Are you familiar with what it's like to grow up in a corporate family? No idea. You have to understand, children are trained to hate rival corporations. We did not regard a theft of Shiwazi goods as illegal. We were simply doing our part to ensure Renraku's supremacy. This kind of behavior is ignored and even tacitly encouraged by company media. Unfortunately, we were caught by Shiwaze security, not Renraku. What did your father do next? Gaichu clicks his tongue a few times. He seems reluctant to continue. That's a story for another time, unfortunately. I still have a lot of arranging to do, and I doubt anyone else will be willing to be alone with me in a darkened room. Come back later and we can discuss it further. Okay, if that's what you want. It is, and thank you again for your hospitality. All right. What's this? His box of mementos. Gaichu's box of personal effects is overflowing with a collection of souvenirs, mementos, and knickknacks. There is no rhyme or reason to the collection of items. They appear to have been thrown in haphazardly. Lying atop the box are a collection of antique Japanese coins inside an overturned wooden mask in a black lacquered box with gold inlay. Oh yeah, we looked at these earlier, but he wasn't there. Gaichu cocks his head, sniffing the air in your direction. I see you found my box of personal effects. Please feel free to examine whatever you like within. Just take care to put them back when you're done. I do not own much, but the things I keep are very precious to me. They are all that remains of my former life. We're going to look at the wooden mask. Okay, we already saw that. The expression is, while kindly, is ambiguous and uncanny. Viewed from above, the expression is one of calm contentment. Shifting the mask to view it in an upward angle causes the expression to seem melancholy, almost pained. What's this wooden mask, Gaichu? It's a mask from the historical No play Ikuda Atsumori. The face is that of a young samurai. Tiara no Atsumori. Gaichu faces your direction, gesturing toward the mask. I had a collection of a dozen or so No masks when I was younger. That is the last remaining one, and my personal favorite. What's the difference between a normal play and No? No actors wear the masks to cover their faces. The angle they hold themselves at changes the expression on the mask. So the acting is highly rigid and controlled. The entire performance is highly ritualized. There is no measure of improvisation allowed, only refinement of the prescribed form. Gaichu folds his arms over his chest, dipping his chin in thought. The words are sung, like in a Western opera, and accompanied by a set of musicians known as a hayashi. The hayashi keeps time with several drums, a flute, and a chorus. A chorus in the Greek theatrical sense, I mean. Unfortunately, No is an unpopular art in modern times. I expect this is because all of the plays are conducted in classical Japanese, which is not comprehensible to the general public. I've heard that the creators of No, a father and son in the 14th century, took inspiration from magical rituals at Shinto shrines. It is said, by placing masks upon their face, The actors become possessed by the spirit of the character they play. There are worse fates, I think, than to embody the spirit of a tragic warrior like Atsumori. What's the play about? A young man travels with the priest who raised him to Ikuta Shrine to commune with the spirit of his father, Taira no Atsumori. The young man's father died at the Battle of Ichi no Tani when the son was only a baby, and he wishes to know who his father was. The pair stay the night in a small hut. In the night, the hermit in the hut explains that he is the ghost of Atsumori. Atsumori has been granted a brief reprieve from this time in the afterlife to meet his son. During the night, they speak of the battle in which Atsumori was killed, the history of the Tiara family, and their philosophy. Atsumori fades into darkness as he finishes the tale of the Tiara's downfall, just as the family itself faded into obscurity. So think we, yet oh that we might change this fragile dream of joy into the lasting love of waking life, says Atsumori before fading. It is a tale of sorrow, love, and the burden of war upon the dead and the living alike. The price one pays for war is not always in one's own blood alone, but in the shattering of one's own family. Why is it your favorite? Gaichi smiles, expression distant. A measure of civic pride, I suppose, and I like the story. Tiara no Atsumori died at the Battle of Ichi no Tani, just outside of Kobe. The play takes place primarily at Ikuta Shrine, which is located in downtown Kobe. In old cities like in Japan, especially in Kyoto, I have always felt there is a sense of history wherever one looks. The skyline may have skyscrapers and delivery drones, but the foundations are laid on the bones of the dead. Gaichi shrugs, folding his arms across his chest. I think it is important to remember their sacrifices and joys, sorrows and glories. Gaichi laughs, suddenly shaking his head. This is why sometimes I worry that I'm a sentimentalist at heart. Okay. The lacquered box. The box is a deep, glossy black cube. The edges and corners are rounded rather than sharp, and the gold flake inlay across the surface glitters even in the dim light of the room. Sliding the top off, the interior contents are revealed. A calligraphy set, complete with inkstone and block, brushes and paper. Gaichu wrinkles his nose, his expression one of distaste. Ugh, that thing. It is a beautiful set, but it's a shame that I am unable to make use of it. Surely you used to be able to. Gaishu shorts derisively, stifling laughter. No, my handwriting has always been absolutely terrible. Whatever fanciful stories you may have heard of being able to tell a swordsman's ability by his handwriting, I assure you they are wrong. The set was a gift from a professor of Japanese literature. He appreciated my interest in the classics, the tale of the Heike, the tale of Genji, the collection of 10,000 Leaves, etc. I think he wished to encourage me to cultivate non-martial interests. Gaichu smiles crookedly and shrugs. I appreciated the gesture, but my attempts at fine calligraphy most resembled excited chickens prancing over paper, their feet soaked in ink. Okay, we're going to leave it alone. Okay, and with that, we're going to go and end this session. Next session, we'll talk with the rest of the team and then head out on another mission. So, hope you guys have enjoyed this. If you have, please like, subscribe, follow, share, all that fun stuff. We put out new videos every day. And in that regard, I hope you're having a great day wherever you are. And we'll see you tomorrow, everybody. Bye now.